Pittsburgh. On your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guide.
Hello, and happy Thursday already. Oh, this week flying by, that first week back from the holidays can be a difficult one, but it's been made easier for all of us around here with all the good news coming down the pipeline here at Sactown Sports. And finally now, we've got everything revealed. Alan Stiles will be joining the afternoon show starting Monday, and then also Monday in that midday slot. Matt George and Kayla Anderson. And best of all, Kyle Ledbetter's still going to be there, right, Kyle? You're still going to be part of that program.
I am, yes. I'm still going to be there with Matt and Kayla. Also, hi, everybody.
Yeah.
No, you're not used to hearing my voice here, but...
Double duty for you again today. Or at least for now. I mean, Jay will be here as far as I know.
Yes, Jay will be here in a second.
Jay will be here shortly. But I'll just say this. I want to say well done to Lobito, Jose Gonzalez, our program director. And I would thank him, but I will do that and have done it personally. He's done a really good job here since he's been here. And just there's a lot of people behind the scenes that have had a lot to do with this. In radio now, the industry does seem to be in a lot of ways shrinking. There's so much competition. And then so to be at this station, which had a really terrific year last year, and then to have Bonneville and the people that work here, Jim and Jose, and they're investing in us and the station and bringing in more people. It's increasingly rare in radio. And I just want to say well done. I think Jose has done an excellent job helping navigate us, especially this show, through all of this. But the main thing is thanks to you, because again, and I know I said this a couple of days ago on the Carmichael Dave show, thanks to everybody who has supported us, this show, all the shows, and the station, because bottom line is none of this happens unless people are responding. So we appreciate that. It is a great station. I've worked at a lot of stations because I've been in radio since 1874. There wasn't even radio then. We just would kind of yell at each other across the street. But seriously, I don't think I've ever worked at a station where all the shows got along as well as everybody on the three shows gets along here. And a lot of it is because, you have egos and things, and everyone on radio has an ego. There's no separating that. You don't get on the radio if you're like, well, I don't know. You can be on the radio, but not for very long. So I just want to say how much I appreciate working here and appreciate everything that the company is doing for this show and for this station. And most of all, how much we appreciate you being with us. And Jay is back. Hey, Jay.
Back like I never left.
Yeah, I know. Good to have you in.
Well, first thing I would say is you better than me because I can't stand none of these dudes.
Okay. That's good, though. You got to have the yin.
Yeah, I got to bring the old radio style.
Yeah.
I mean, I barely like myself at this point. No, I kid. No, shouts out to everybody making a move and doing what they possibly can. And, blessings and, like I say, Godspeed, brother.
I know because of some of our private back and forth that you're having, a hard time with everything, like I was yesterday about this time. And obviously that's not what we are here for, but I understand, Jay, and it's just tough times. There's no matter what's going on. I know everyone says, we don't know what happened. We know enough to know that there are some just terrible things going on right now.
Yeah, it is, man.
Terrible things.
Yeah, life is difficult. Life is hard. And one of the things I'm always cognizant of is I try to enjoy it. Truly do. And I know we all get caught into the rat race and the everyday struggle and the everyday survival. Sometimes we get into survival mode. And one of the things that Draper always spoke about is your mental, But I extend it even further, your physical, your health, your family, living. Sometimes we just get caught in a rat race, man, and things that are always going on, things that go on around us can definitely affect your mental, your health, your family, and your movement. So I just, honestly, for everybody out there, totally understand it. Whatever line you want to cross or whatever side you're on, more power to you. Straight up. I'm just talking about humanity.
Right.
And I'm hoping all is well and, continue to live, continue to enjoy living.
Yes.
Truly.
Take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones.
Yeah.
And defend all that is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least try.
Staunchly.
Yes, very much so. And and the other thing, everything that you enjoy, Because one of the things that makes us great creatures is I don't have to like what you like, and you don't have to agree with the way I see things, and vice versa. But the great part about it is we have the opportunity to discuss those things. We have an opportunity to live throughout those things. And so, I just truly wish everybody, man, just do you, honestly. And I think, Whitey, of course, you would know a little bit better than some of the listeners. If nothing else, man, I try to move to the own beat of my drum. I truly do, man. I enjoy being here. I enjoy living. I enjoy the quality of life that I've worked hard for and I've been blessed upon. And so I just try to continue that every single day. And if I can assist or help and aid anybody within that, and if anybody's listening, please, I'm always around. I'm never not. I'm always around. I'm always about helping my people of Sacramento and surrounding areas.
Your community.
Absolutely,
yes.
Man. I'm born and raised here, and I've been away from here for a decade and change, so I know what it is to be in other places, bigger markets, bigger cities. And coming back here is nothing like Sacramento. So I appreciate my people.
City of trees.
Absolutely. What do you mean?
Farm to fork.
Yeah, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody not too long ago. We're having a discussion, and the person escapes me, but if I said the name, everybody would know. And we were having a conversation. And they were like, amongst the conversation, like, and what's up with the little farm to fork stuff? And I said, well, what are we talking about? Like, man, Sacramento's the city of trees.
Yes.
And I don't like the fact that they changed the name on the water tower. And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Right.
But I didn't tell him, where I was coming from in my standpoint. But yes, city of trees.
Yes, absolutely.
With great food, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both true, but city of trees, there's just no reason to change it. Evan Sittery has some interesting information here. Evan Sittery. Here's what he says on Twitter. He said this, an hour ago. The Kings are canvassing the market to offload Malik Monk in a multi-team framework with the Warriors for Jonathan Kuminga. This is Evan Sittery. This is nobody who's with the Kings, as far as I know, has said this. He suggests the Nets are a team to monitor with Michael Porter Jr. Then he has some, scenario. The Warriors get Michael Porter Jr., the Kings get Kuminga, Brooklyn gets Malik, draft capital, salary filler via the Warriors. So that would reunite Malik Monk with Jordy. How about that? I don't know about any of that, but it would make sense to me that the Kings would be trying to find a third team as a facilitator so that they could swing a deal for Kuminga. Jay, you and I, as you know, yesterday after the show, we were just talking about it as we were leaving. And is it going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't have any inside information. But, Jay, I can feel it. The Kings want it. I think they're going to make this happen.
Well, first things first is this. And there's no slight to Evan Sittery, but no blank. Like, of course we knew that. Mm-hmm. Of course. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about it forever. We understand that. Evan Sittery is a national contributor to the National Basketball Association of basketball. Yes.
Yeah.
And totally understand you have to continue to aggregate a lot of that information throughout the world because you have followers. These are the things as someone that, we have to consistently talk about it every single day, as we should, because we're the reporters in between, a lot of listeners and fans and onlookers of the Sacramento Kings. We ain't said nothing new, Whitey. I'm not talking on nothing that ain't new. Why are we broken record right now?
I brought it up for this reason. I had not heard, maybe I could have figured it out. I've not heard that the Kings are trying to find a third team. They're trying to find somebody like, hey, be a facilitator so we can do this deal with the Warriors and maybe you take Malik. It makes sense. Maybe I should have deduced that, but I haven't specifically heard.
I think we talked about it yesterday. We even kind of broke it into example of, there's going to take a third team. I think Slater has talked about it with Kuminga.
Right.
I've seen Mark Spears talk about Kuminga. The Warriors have said that it's going to take a third team to facilitate the situation between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. Again, I'm not trying to belittle a report or a tweet or a text or whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is, this ain't nothing new. This is something that we figured out, and we got to start calling a spade, and that's just the truth.
By the way, sidebar, I don't know if you saw this. Last night, the Warriors played the Bucks. Big fight in the stands.
Yeah, I know. Dude, it's rough out in these streets right now.
People
It
are
truly
angry
is.
and agitated.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. Especially when you walk into a sports competition, an event, a game, somebody that you're supporting, and your team is not that, not playing well, not that good on the outside looking in, even though the Warriors are in the play-in, and you just never know. And then on top of that, like you said, folks are just agitated too.
Yes. You're agitated that I brought up Evan Sittery's report.
Yeah, because ain't nothing new.
Yeah, I did not.
Nothing new.
Like I said, I did not know that they were talking to teams about taking Malik and trying to find a facilitator. If that's true, that suggests that we may be closer than at least I thought to a deal where Kuminga would come here. And then there's also reports, although again, this is nothing new, that the Bucks continue to have interest in Zach LaVine, and for the Bucks, it may come down, according to what's been written, and some of it, as other people are just writers going, I see what he wrote, I see what they wrote, here's what I think of that. But it's been suggested for the Bucks, it may come down to Jeremy Grant or Zach LaVine. And if it's Jeremy Grant, they probably would get a little something for their troubles.
Ooh, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Especially if we can intervene and intertwine ourselves into this move to accept an asset, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, but what we think we know is based on what I think Mark Spears reported, and that you can take that to the bank.
Yes, sir.
The Kings are saying, we're not doing anything unless you, Milwaukee, give us your 2031.
Yeah.
Why
don't we want the 32? It gets so.
It's just probably just because it's sooner. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's a fair question.
I just feel like we're so hell bent on here, or at least we've been hearing that the 2031 draft pick is the one that the Sacramento Kings get, and maybe that's. And I haven't done my due diligence.
Maybe they have some protections on
32.
Yeah,
I was going to say on the 32. So maybe, that's probably the reason why we haven't really been hearing 2032. But you're probably right. It's sooner, and it's so far away.
Right.
Again, we're talking about, little Beckett at this point. Beckett coming through the line, or True Sports Cards, Jose Imran Pilati, his son. At this point, we're looking that far down the road when it comes to draft picks. Mm-hmm. Like, is Beckett, are you prepared right now, Imran, for the NIL and Beckett being drafted in 2036?
What would his draft
That's
class
how
be?
crazy this stuff sounds, man.
I know.
2031.
Mm-hmm. But I'm allowing myself, Jay, maybe it's a mistake. I'm allowing myself to start to get a little more enthused about, maybe some things could happen. We've been talking about it, and Scott Perry warned us, nothing's going to happen just because there's a deadline that arrives. But I'm starting to get a little, while my brain is saying, there's a good chance nothing's going to happen. My heart's starting to think, but stuff could happen. The Kings could be making some moves.
Ooh.
And I'm hoping, I'm wishing. I'm not praying. There's more important things to pray about, but
Sure.
I'm hoping and wishing.
Well, can I get in the car with you?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on what's going to happen. I'm with you. I'm hoping and I'm wishing, upon a star that the Kings do something. Absolutely. Truly. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we were all waiting on the first domino to drop. And, for a long time, it was is Giannis going to move? And I think that for me, and I feel like we're talking about being agitated. It feels like I'm attacking some of these people. But Sean's been leaning on that for 5 years. One of these days is going to hit, and he's going to say, I told you, Well, again, we all know that, right? 5 years you've been talking about Giannis could leave. But with Giannis saying, look, I want to be here in Milwaukee, and until anything changes, we'll cross that bridge. We were all kind of looking for the first domino to drop. AD's name has kind of been thrown around there. Zion, even though he's back starting for the Pelicans and doing decently, we waited, and Trae Young was probably the first one to go, and CJ McCollum being spun. Now, the market is open, and I'm very interested to see who's the next team that's going to say, we're done for the season, or we're buying. There's no desperation coming from our side. We want to hunt and try to, I guess, hunt down Boston or New York or Detroit. We feel like OKC might have a crack in their armor. We think we can go at them, Houston Rockets or someone like that, Denver Nuggets. They probably need a little help. So I think the market now is open. Ring the bell, brother.
I don't know if you saw Sam's interview with Giannis that he conducted last night after the Warrior game.
Yes.
If I were a Bucks fan, Giannis would be driving me nuts right now because, and we'll talk more about it, but bottom line, he's telling Sam, I want to be here today. And he even compares himself like my wife. My wife loves me today. Will she love me tomorrow? I don't know. So what do you say? I mean, commit or don't. But this whole thing, I am all in right now. Yeah.
I think it is.
And then he also says, hey, I'm just an employee here. And Sam did call him on that because, in the NBA,
sure,
that's not the case. What can I do? I'm just an employee. No.
Yeah, that's not.
Come on, Giannis.
Right, come on. Stand up straight, walk tall, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you this, though. It is, as a fan, it's frustrating. But I think it's not a cry, but kind of a, Milwaukee, do something. Which we've consistently heard about Giannis, coming back to the brass of Milwaukee and saying, you want me to be around, we need to compete for championships, help me out. And for the most part, Milwaukee's tried to do a lot of things.
Right.
Hasn't worked.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Year. So
yeah. I like it here, but if we don't do anything and we got the same team in March that we got right now, yeah.
It's the Kobe effect, right? He kicked and screamed and cried about, I'm going to Chicago and all this other stuff, and the Lakers bent. They wind up winning the championship. Let me say the NBA bent for Kobe to make sure that they got a couple of people in there. So it happens all the time, Whitey.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. As a Bucks fan, I'd be irate with Giannis.
Oh, I love it here.
Yeah.
For now.
Right.
I don't know. Tomorrow, I don't know how I'll feel. That you remind me
of
the great Mitch Kupchak story of where Kobe wanted to go to the Bulls, and Mitch Kupchak arranged it so that he arranged a trade where coming back for the Lakers, and I think it was like Luol Deng or something, which doesn't make sense now, but it was, and Kobe recognized, well, wait, if I go there for him, they're not going to be very good. Why would I want to go there? And Mitch Kupchak's like, yeah, well, do you want to go or not? Right. Knowing that there's no way he would go. Called
him out on his BS.
Yes.
And that's how I think you operate. Though Kobe was in a distinct position at that time. I truly think as much as it wasn't that long ago, I really think the NBA is completely ran by its stars, completely ran by
I agree.
the players. And for the most part, GMs, front offices, organizations, they have very little power in how they manipulate and move rosters at this point.
Right.
I mean, you got guys picking up and it's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but you had guys picking, the banana boat. Folks picking up the phone. It goes back to the Tim Duncan and Grant Hill being in Orlando with T-Mac. It's been going on for a short period of time, but now it is completely ran by the players.
I think one thing we've learned, though, is it doesn't always work. When you had LeBron and D. Wade and then, Bosh as well, obviously that worked because it was LeBron and D. Wade.
Yeah. And Bosh. Don't do Bosh like that, Whitey.
I don't think he was the
Hall of Famer
component.
Hall of Famer.
I like Chris Bosh, but I think there's a lot of guys you could have plugged in there. My point is, if it's LeBron and D. Wade, it's going to work. But, you have three other guys like, hey, we're all pretty good. James Harden and Kevin Durant. And who was the other one that they had?
Kyrie?
Yeah. It didn't work, did it?
No.
They were,
but KG was a little long in the tooth.
Right.
Kyrie's Kyrie. He definitely moves to the beat of his own drum.
They had 2 or 3 Bosches in their side of it. That's all.
Okay, wait a minute. You ain't no Bosh again.
Good players, but
Hall of Famer, man.
Yeah. What do you think of the Trae Young deal?
Why to me, it just kind of screams Trae was ready to get out of Atlanta, and Atlanta was ready to release Trae. That's the way I see it. And relationships crumble. Friendships crumble. Romantic relationships crumble. Business relationships crumble. It happens. Unfortunately, in our world, it truly happens. But I do know this. I'm not over-the-top Trae supporter, but I also know Trae's got a lot of bad flack for a lot of things that he's done.
Did you happen to see what Hollinger wrote about him today?
I didn't. I don't read John Hollinger. Come on, man. I don't understand why you subject yourself to that.
Well, it's because I run across
he hates
things
on
like
the Kings.
I know, and this is exactly to your point. To me, I really was surprised that he brought this up. I mentioned this a little bit ago. I don't mean to be redundant. If you heard me talk about this with Alan, you know the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner?
I love it.
Okay.
No.
Kevin Costner is the GM of the Browns. And he's got the number 1 pick, and he's got to figure out, he's got to get it right.
Well, you got to tell the story first.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the number 1 pick. He traded up for the number 1 pick.
I was trying to get to as quickly as possible. But, okay, you're right. And then and Jennifer Garner's his girlfriend, and she's pregnant, and all this stuff's happening in his life, and it seems like his whole life revolves and depends on him getting this pick right. And there's this hotshot quarterback who's a de facto number 1 pick.
In Wisconsin, Bo something. What's his name? Bo something.
I'd have to look that up, but you're right. And so he is the presumptive number 1 pick. But Kevin Costner's not sure, right? He's like, and then he hears a story or sees a video or something of the fact that when this quarterback had a birthday party, none of his teammates went to it. And Kevin Costner says, well, he's not a team guy. I'm not going to pick him. And then he picks some other guy and
picks Chadwick Boseman, a linebacker from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Bo Callahan.
Is that Chadwick Boseman?
Yes, sir, brother.
I didn't even realize that.
I said he goes into the Sports Hall of Fame.
Uh-huh.
Because he was there. He was Jackie Robinson in 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Browns drafted the Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's a good pick right there.
Absolutely.
But here's why I bring that up.
Taking care of his nephews.
Yes. Hollinger today had video of Selection Sunday when Trae Young's Oklahoma Sooners were selected. And the video shows, and I don't know where they were, number 3 seed in the West Regional, whatever, Oklahoma Sooners. And in the video, all the players are like, oh, except for one, Jay. I kid you not.
Really?
I'm not saying this is right.
Come on,
but
man.
he shows it, and he says NBA teams noticed that.
Come on.
And they thought, oh, he's not a team guy.
Stop
I thought, what?
Was that what? He must have been in the front office at that time.
I don't know that he was in the Hawks front office. He was in a front office.
Yeah, I'm saying throughout the NBA at the time, yeah.
And then he said, a lot of teams have seen Trae Young as a tennis player. That is, he's really just more concerned with how he's doing.
Man.
He did say that Trae has done a lot to address that over the years, and there are a number of teammates that have said, Trae was great. But I thought, man, I know that people say, oh, Trae Young is disrespected. I just thought it's really disrespectful to show that video and say, here's why teams don't like Trae Young.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That truly is. But you're always auditioning, right?
I guess so.
You really are. That's messed up, though.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's kind of like the analytics conversation that I always make fun of. You can find anything to support your story at this point because there's just so much, there's so many things that people put out into the atmosphere now, even if it's right or wrong, even if it's true or false. It's just out there. And so you're always going to be able to find something to detour people to your point. Listen, for everybody that we've talked to, and we just had somebody on, and I can't remember, a couple months ago, a month and a half ago, and they were talking about Trae. It's like, the one thing that I think Trae gets a bad rap is about he's a bad teammate. And everybody in the locker room, I've covered the Hawks for so many years, they say the complete opposite. Now, compared to fans or compared to opponents or compared to, how the organization sees Trae is completely different. Mm-hmm. But you just don't really hear anybody come out and say Trae is a bad dude. He's a terrible, teammate. He's all about himself. Like, you just don't hear that from his teammates, though.
I'll say this for the Hawks really more than Trae Young. I've found myself wondering over the years, how come the Hawks, who also could have gotten Luka, no one ever criticizes them. No one says, oh, they could have had Luka. Why not? Well, of course, it's because they did better than the Kings. Kings passed on Luka. They got Marvin Bagley, who didn't play that well. They traded him. They got eventually they got Trey Lyles, right? That was what they ended up with. Well, here's how the Hawks did. Yeah, they traded for Trae Young and for an additional first. I forget who they got with that first. As Luka went to the Mavs. But Bobby Mark says, interesting way to look at this. And actually, this is not, I apologize, this isn't the Hawks. This is the Wizards. Okay. Look how they've done. Bradley Beal, they convert that to Chris Paul, to Jordan Poole, to C.J. McCollum, to Trae Young.
Yeah.
In the process, 4 years of pick swap, 6 seconds, $16 million saved over the next 2 years.
That's how you move.
The Wizards did pretty well.
That's how you move.
And I think all things considered, the Hawks, depending on what they do next, I think they navigated those waters pretty well also.
Yeah, well, for me, the Hawks are still looking for their guy.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is they felt Trae Young at some point in time could have been their guy. They got as high as the Eastern Conference Finals in the run. Doesn't matter if it's a bad year, down year, whatever. He made it there. So you got to give him and the Hawks some support.
Jalen Johnson's our guy now, Jay.
Well, he's going to have to prove it. I think he's a boss, a baller. That's my cousin. But, truly, is he a star? Is he a superstar? Because I think they're built around someone ready to be a superstar. If Jalen Johnson's going to be that, then more power to him. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to tell you why. 4-time NBA All-Star, third team, all-rookie first team, all NBA assist leader a couple times. Like, Trae Young's a baller, man. I don't care what nobody says. If you had his career right now, as you always make fun of, he's probably a Hall of Famer. It's because he's a McDonald's All-American, college, and so on and so forth. You can't. There's no slight to that. No matter if you dislike him or not, he's a baller, though.
Look at the video, Jay.
Well,
check the video.
Right. All right, John Hollinger.
Maybe we'll check that
supporter
during the break. Conversation continues, and we'll come back with. I hear Imran Pilati might be popping.
I was looking around to see, but I thought I saw Beckett. Didn't see Imran.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I have not the slightest idea why, so maybe that's just an idle rumor. We'll find out next. Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there, Mark Hoffman and Tom Romano with you, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark.
TSA announced this week a system that will let travelers who still do not have a real ID get through security at the airport. If you don't have a real ID, a valid passport or other accepted ID, you'll pay $45 to use a modernized alternative verification system. Wow, that's a mouthful. The new system starts February 1st. Each $45 payment will allow you to travel for 10 days without paying again. If your trip is longer than that, you will have to pay twice or just get a real ID. The process will differ from airport to airport, but this will happen obviously before you go through security. Not sure if you have a real ID? If you have a real ID, in the upper right corner of your California driver's license, there will be a star in the middle of the bear.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices as a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT this month only. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITBFest.com.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
It's Wonderful Wednesdays at Roosters. Starting at 5 p.m., all-you-can-eat enchiladas for $21.99. 12 incredible styles. How many can you handle? Come set the record. The mill's on them. Wonderful Wednesdays, only at Roosters on the River.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Speaking of Kings talk, Jerry Reynolds is going to join us today about 5 o'clock. Also today, John McMullen. He's an Eagles reporter for SI Now. And then we had one more spot. Like, look, should we get another guest? I don't know. What do you think? I don't care. We couldn't think of anybody else. And then Jay got a call or something. Anyway, Emmer Pilati is with us. How are you?
My
Emmer?
ninth
Thanks
choice.
for coming in.
Ninth choice. I happen to be in the neighborhood about 35 minutes from where I normally live.
We always appreciate you coming in, especially since you and I are card pards.
We are.
Saturday mornings on Sactown Sports.
And I can't wait for you to cut our new commercial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they don't want to hear me anymore.
You did it. That's really a well-done commercial you did.
Yeah, well,
And your friend did the music, right?
He did.
The music on that commercial?
Yeah, he did. So time for a refresh, and it stars you.
Mm-hmm.
Less me.
Whatever you need. Yes.
I'm here to talk Kings. I'm here to talk Niners. I'm here to talk whatever you want to talk
Jay is very insistent that we talk about the star who's coming to or one of the stars coming to your upcoming autograph expo.
So we have the Sacramento Autograph Expo that's happening on February 21st. It's going to be held at the Roseville Fairgrounds like we always do. You've been there. Jay's been there. You guys have done the event on site as Drive Guys. And so that's going to be held. It's a one-day. It's our spring show, a little smaller than we usually do. We have our big show that's going to be in September. But we have 2 confirmed guests that I've announced, 5 total so far. Jay, you had a question about a guest.
Yeah, well, I don't know, no question, because you've already allowed everybody to see it. You've already broke the news. I'm excited, ecstatic, pumped up for my boy Doc Gooden.
Doc Gooden.
Shouts out to Doc, baby.
I worked with Doc about almost 9 years ago. We did an event in New York.
Man, you're young.
Yes, I'm very, look at me now, but I got a face for radio, as many people tell me. And Doc and I worked together, and the event was in Westbury, New York, and Doc was living at the time with his daughter in New Jersey. So he says, is there a way that you could come get me? So I flew to New Jersey, rented a car, and Doc and I had the pleasure of driving together for 2.5 hours in the car. And I asked that guy everything. You got to remember, in 85 when he was pitching, I was, 8? So I got to watch this guy dominate. Cy Young, Rookie of the Year.
84, 85.
He was in.
For those who are too young or don't remember, he was unbelievable.
He was the face of the league. In New York, no pressure. I'm being sarcastic on the no pressure, but the guy just lived up to every hype you could imagine. We talked about his struggles that he had through his personal struggles with drugs and all that stuff. It was an incredible ride to be able to sit there, and he didn't have a choice. He had to talk to me for 2.5 hours, right?
Traffic.
Tough. Yeah.
Did you turn on the radio or something? Really
Did you
loudly?
not hear what I said to you? I'm asking you questions, Doc. He couldn't have been more gracious. He was a wonderful person. I called him about 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, Doc, my name is Emmer. He goes, I remember exactly who you are. He talked about us stopping at the time, Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh.
I think it's just called Dunkin' now. We sat down and we talked about life as we were driving, and he was just the best dude. So he agreed to come out. I didn't realize this, but his son plays for Sacramento State football.
He does.
So he's excited to come out here see his son, and he'll be one of our guests. The other
Do you have
guest,
to go pick him up again?
I'll pick him up.
We're gonna have Junk Wax Lou pick him up, so we're excited to have Lou. Junk Wax Lou he'll pick him up, and that's gonna be exciting. And then I made the other announcement today. Scott Spezia, former A's, former Angel, and one of the guys that hit one of the most dramatic home runs in World Series history. I didn't realize that he's still in the top 5 in postseason RBIs in one postseason with 19 he hit. At one time, that was the record. One time it was a record, but
yeah.
And then, unfortunately, they all mentioned to me, well, it was against the Giants.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of like your Robert Ory
Here we go
on
again.
a smaller scale, but at this point, it's like, all right.
Well,
he obviously knows what he's doing.
He's got some A's. He got some A's love.
Yeah.
Come on. Why do you please? Okay, I'll counteract it with this. Tomorrow we're going to make the announcement on social, but I might as well do it here. Breaking news.
Well, let's do it. Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. We've got 1989 National League MVP, barehanded catch himself, Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell, which he's back.
It's going up tonight for sure.
We had him 2 years ago. He was nothing but an awesome guest that we had. Whitey, you were able to ask him a great question. Maybe we'll have you ask him it again, see if the answer changes. The question was,
did you, in fact, as legend has it, get a base hit in Game 6 of the 86 World Series in the 10th inning with no underwear on?
No draws.
Yeah.
And his answer?
He kind of danced around it. He said, I know what you're going to ask me. Then I asked it, and it's clear like, ooh, he didn't know I was going to ask him that.
He thought you were going to ask him about a hit or something. Excuse me, just a quick question. As you got that hit, any undies?
Yeah, he probably thought I was going to ask him about the barehanded catch or something.
Yeah.
Love it.
You didn't. You went,
Love it.
Nope.
Bear something or other.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
not the handy catch.
Dude, I'm pumped, Whitey, for Doc Gooden.
I could tell.
Yeah, man. I've had a business relationship, a professional relationship, having him on many different shows. And he's been so gracious with his time. And as Imran said, he doesn't mind talking about anything, life. And I appreciate people who talk about life and even sometimes the skeletons in the closets of their life. But I love Doc, man. And I was super young, so I never got to see Doc as Doc. I got to see Doc as a Yankee.
Yeah.
Did you say you are super young?
I was at the time in 84, 85. I was born. There you go.
You absolutely was.
Yeah, I were.
I think he pitched in the All-Star game at Candlestick Park in 1984, and he must have been like 20 or something.
Oh, yeah. It was a teen coming through that farm system.
Ooh, he threw hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. K. So we have him. He'll be signing autographs and some cool stuff.
Now, this is the toughest part because now I'm going to lean on my boy Emory. First of all, somebody's got to take over the Kyle Draper discount effect here. I don't want a Yankee uniform. I'm not too keen on a Mets uni. I'm stuck.
You want a Cleveland Indians?
I don't. I was thinking about it.
Volunteering the discount for Alan Stiles. You're not doing that?
Please.
Emran, I'm going to have to get the hookup. It's the 50% off, the 50% off.
Is he still asking for the
the Kyle Draper special?
Yeah, is he still asking for that?
It's where he leaves with the jersey, and I've given him money to this. Yeah.
So do I go Houston Astro or do I go Tampa? Right? Wasn't he at the end of Tampa or the Marlins? Tampa, right?
Let's see if Emory can you name all his teams that he played for?
Cleveland Indians, New York Yankees, New York Mets.
Houston.
Houston one
I've
year.
already said Houston.
Wow, he did Houston.
Yeah, he was Houston for sure.
1 year with he was 8-8 for he was 2-3, I think. Looking at the wrong numbers.
For who?
Tampa Bay.
I thought it was Tampa. I was going to say
Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
That's
not
right.
Rays.
Yes, he was
it was a Devil Ray.
Is that the jersey I go?
Yes, that's the one. Ooh,
Devil Rays,
with a little Devil Ray.
Yeah, like can you get one of those, Emran? Just one.
Can I get one?
And I want to
the real card part here.
When he pitched in the All-Star game in '84 at Candlestick, he was 19. And he was 17-9 that year.
You know who else
276 strikeouts.
You know who else is 19 and crushing it?
Who's that?
Cooper Flagg.
Did
you get to see him the other night?
Just on the
super
TV.
Super late.
Just on the TV, the 11 o'clock start. Yeah.
Well, you are a early to bed guy. Street lights, time to go to bed, honey.
Yeah.
No, my guy ain't that old. Don't do him like that.
Yeah.
I just looked at the clock and I was like, I was gonna call you at halftime. It was like 9:10 at night.
I watched the game.
Yes.
I watched the game. Yeah.
Right.
Talking to a guy that popped bottles on New Year's, albeit might have been in the bed, but you know.
Now, Jay and I went back and forth on that yesterday because, the end of the game, the Kings ran the wrong play according to Doug Christie. And I'm like, whoa. And Jay said, no big deal.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Of what?
They ran the wrong play at the end of the game. To me, that's like, whoop. Oh, we may have some issues here.
They have a right play? Wait a minute. We're not down by 35. What do we do here?
They didn't run Doug's play, man.
Okay. I didn't get to hear the play that was supposed to be called. I'm guessing
Why?
it's DeMar.
Did you go to bed early?
I was asleep. Okay. Street lights. We got a 3-year-old.
They're supposed to give the ball to Zach, and Zach goes to get the ball, and then DeMar also went to get the ball, and then you've got too many defenders in one area. Yeah.
The way that you just described it, I'm just in my head having Zach and DeMar bonking heads together trying to go after the ball.
It was close.
It was a
like
mess, right?
DeMar ran Zach off the ball, and Zach had that look kind of like, oh, okay, I guess we're not running that.
Yeah. How do I feel about it?
Is it a big deal or is it?
I can tell you there's a big contingent of Kings fans that are excited about the competitiveness and also excited about the loss in the sense of tanking for the ping pong balls, right? I just love competitive basketball. We talked about this on our show on Saturdays. I just want competitive basketball. I cannot stand 30-point losses anymore. It's just difficult for me. The other night, there was the Bucks game on against the Kings, and I forgot that the game was on. This is a diehard Kings fan feeling that way. It's just...
Come on, Emery.
I know.
Gotta be better than that,
you think
family.
I don't want to feel that way? I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah, I'm going to need to take a break here on that note. We'll be back with more of Emery Pilati.
Or not.
And, yeah, well... Let us know what you think. And don't hold your breath on Keon staying past the deadline. That and more next, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CRV, HRV, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Just once a year, NorCal's largest gathering for anglers, hunters, boaters, RVers, and off-roading enthusiasts. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice, because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely. And you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Emery Pilati is with us today. Jerry Brownell is going to join us today. And, of course, we'll be getting ready for the 49ers and the Eagles. I think when I last talked with you, we were exchanging texts. I know you were settling in to watch that 49er game. That had to be disappointing, huh, Emery?
Boy, I was going to start with saying congratulations on the new format of the Drive, guys. I'm excited.
Oh, thank you. Thank
excited
you.
for you and Alan. That's an amazing opportunity to refresh the Drive, guys. This is awesome. I'm really
thank
happy
you.
for
Appreciate
guys.
that.
More or less, it's an amazing opportunity for Alan. You can tell the truth.
I was listening the other day when you were talking about it. I was like, I don't know about Alan, but Whitey, I love you. And, we'll see about how this feels. And yeah, that was fun. It should be a good start already for Alan. Get a razz before you even start your new setup. As far as the Niners go, of course that was pathetic to watch. 3 points? It was very difficult.
Especially because your wife, who had been potty training your son all week, and then she's like, you want to do something Saturday? And you're like, yeah, I'm watching a football game. You can go to the movies. So she's off to the movies by herself, and you stay home to watch that.
I was like, I'd rather just watch the potty. I should have just potty trained with Beckett all day long.
Yeah.
By the way, we tapped out. We tried. For those of you that had small children, you understand the potty training. Do you remember it, Whitey, way back when? The potty training episodes?
I don't remember it that well.
Okay. You're at that age. You might be learning it again for yourself. What I was saying is, though, with Beckett, I really feel like we tried.
I told you cold blood.
I know.
I did it. You just let it go. You didn't say anything. And so we tried the potty training thing, and we'll just revisit that at a later date. It was just not working. I think we need to do it when it's summertime, so that way he can be outside running around in the backyard rather than running around inside.
You may need to do that. One thing you don't need to do is talk anymore about that.
I didn't bring it up.
Well, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the game.
Nobody knew my son was potty training until you mentioned it.
Until you brought it up on our show on Saturday.
This is the scintillating radio that happens right now on a 2:30 on a Thursday. I'm hopeful for the Niners. I just seeing them going up against a really tough defense really worries me. And also, Kendrick Bourne had one target the entire game. That was really not part of the game plan. By the way, I think he had like a bonus against catching some passes. He did like 9 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made it.
I think he did make it.
Did he?
I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second one, he did not make it.
Well, the second one. The first one he did.
The first one, he got $500,000. The second one, he had another $250,000. He did not make it.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. But their best receiver is Christian McCaffrey. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he missed out on 1,000 yards by about 60 yards from receiving. So that was tough, too, because I would love to see another 1,000 out of a.
Well, Trent Williams was at practice today. I don't know that he practiced.
He did.
He was there. He did practice.
He did practice.
Okay. Fred Warner was on a side field running around.
That's good. Oh, well, he's obviously not going to play, but
not this week, but
impressive.
It looks like they win this week.
Ricky P was on the side, too, running up and down.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the injuries kind of healing themselves right when it counts.
I mean, they were all in casts and in hospital beds, but they were there at practice.
They were wheeling him around in that wheelchair.
Yeah, they had IVs and everything, but they were there. That's the main thing.
Yeah, the Trent thing hurt bad. I mean, Brock was running for his life for a lot of that game, and having 1.2 seconds to make a decision to throw, it's been difficult. He was shorting everything. He was jump throwing.
A lot of it, he wasn't even running for his life. He never had time. He was just getting like the old trash compactors.
Oh, when he got crunched that one time, yeah, where he got hurt near the end of the game, like 4 minutes
stinger,
left.
Shoulder stinger,
last throw, right?
Yeah,
that was rough. Do you want to go back to talking Kings, or do you want to stay in the
Well, I
Niners?
have a quick question real fast about the Kings.
Please.
With the Kings season being downtrodden as it is, who's the guy to collect right now for the Kings?
So I was looking at card prices, and by the way, for those of you, I'm looking at the TikTok camera right now, or the Instagram camera. I will tell you, the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
I will tell you that cards are becoming more mainstream than ever before. We're having a lot of it. I don't know if you know this, but Tom Brady's opening his shop at the in downtown Sac, I think next week sometime.
Isn't it kind of near the arena or somewhere in that
yeah,
area?
It's on. I don't know the address.
Okay,
I don't know
right,
anything about it,
yeah.
but I think it's on K Street. I don't know. Anyways, that's opening, so it's getting more mainstream, and we've got people that love sports, love Kings, love Niners, love whatever team they love, and now buying the cards. I think you've refreshed yourself back into the game of cards, Whitey. I know Jay doesn't collect cards, but he loves to do some memorabilia here or there. Not Jake Moody signed.
He's more
Niners
of a jersey guy. I've given him some cards.
More Jay,
He's definitely getting a Doc Gooden jersey. We know
of course,
that's going to happen.
and a card or two.
Yeah.
If you have one over there, don't sell it yet, Emery.
So as you see, no promises. So as you see us get more mainstream with memorabilia and cards, you're starting to see people saying, I really like Nick Clifford, or I really like Maxime. Maxime is selling very well. In fact, I'm looking on eBay just before we came on air, and Maxime is selling for double what Nick is selling for right now in cards. Nick Clifford, I just bought.
So what, like $1?
I just bought a Nick Clifford autograph on eBay right now for $10 shipped.
Oh, okay.
Autograph card.
Autographed?
Yeah, for $10 shipped.
Really?
Yeah.
I give you 15.
See, that's how you make profit. You just yell it out loud, and then Jay will come back.
You said a Neat Clifford auto for 10.
Yeah.
So
Autograph
what's
card.
You know what Maxine?
Yeah, right now.
There's a lot of fans I think listening right now who are probably like, ooh.
If you go to eBay right now, there's a Maxime available for you at $23 for his autograph card.
Give you 25. You don't even have it, but yeah.
Why would you give me 25 when it's available on eBay for 23 right now?
I figured if you do the work for me, I'd give you
exactly a work tax. But yeah, it's nice to see people changing their fandom and just saying, you know what, I enjoy watching Maxime, I enjoy watching Nick, I enjoy watching Keegan, and I want to buy a card that's going to represent that, and I'll treat it like an investment. And people have now moved into hobby/investment instead of just going, this is a kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that our average customer now is in the mid to late 30s. Whereas before, it was a kid's game, or like, oh, you collect baseball cards? Yeah, I kind of do. And not only do I do it, but so do a lot of other people. So it's an exciting time for the hobby, and you're seeing cards just about everywhere. You and I talked about the Topps Chrome product from this year, and it has a lot to do with what this exciting rookie class looks like. One of the best rookie classes in a long time.
Also, they're making a few of them. Right?
You're saying that we're overproducing?
They're making a few of the cards
Yeah.
this year, Topps.
Yeah.
Did you know that there was apparently someone told me this, and I don't know if they told me this to share on the air, so I don't want to say who they were, but they said they were at the arena, and there was one of those card vending machines at the arena, and they said it was $99, and they didn't realize that. They thought they misunderstood. They got, I forget the card they got, but they also got like a ticket voucher.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you know?
I know the guy that owns it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe I supply him with some of the cards. Maybe I don't.
Oh, okay.
But I probably do.
Yeah.
Why have we not done this?
Get me in the venue.
Oh, okay.
I need my.
You ain't asked that.
I need my machine in there.
Okay.
The name of the company is 10 Kings. They have a thing at the arena to where like you put your money in, or I think it's a credit card, and then you just pull the handle and you can pick and choose which one you want. And it's a mystery pack with a surprise card. I think he's going into jerseys as well eventually. And yeah, the arena and the vendor that owns that machine have worked out a deal to where there's like a future Kings ticket in each and every pack.
Oh, all right.
So that's pretty cool. I thought that was a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you redeem it using your QR code that's inside the pack, and then you get a future ticket for a game. So,
hey, Imran, someone on the Amadrock is asking, Imran, what's the deal with the PSA grading scandal?
Oh, no.
How can you assure customers their cards will be graded correctly? I haven't heard about this. It's an issue?
Here we go.
Well, just give it 90 seconds or less.
We talked about this on our show on Saturdays, which we talk about Saturdays at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was there was a guy that PSA is now offering to buy the card back from you when you get it graded. So for those of you that don't know, you're very novice at this, PSA is a company that grades cards on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the best. And the higher up the scale, the more value the card is. And what happened was there was a PSA 9 Pokemon card that was graded by PSA, and before they shipped it out, they said to the owner of the card, would you like to sell it to us for X amount of dollars?
Sure, sold.
And he said, sure. I don't collect PSA 9s. I collect PSA 10s. I'd like it. I'll take the money. So they paid him. So a few weeks go down the road, and the guy curiously goes, I wonder what they're selling it for, now that they bought it from me for X amount. And he looks and he checks the ID code on the label, and the ID code now is moved to a PSA 10 version of the card.
After they bought it, somehow it went from a 9 to a 10.
Yes.
Oh.
And now the guy goes, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You told me. Now, there's some fine print involved. There's the owner of PSA addressed it, but that's when Amadrock just asked the question about a scandal. It's more of just like
misunderstanding.
I don't know. It's to the point where I don't want to get involved in all that nonsense, but it is causing some, conversations in the hobby of what are the grading options out there.
PSA has some splaining to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And they released whatever they said in public, and that's what it is.
Well, I know that was it last year when a lot of people were asking about Keon Ellis cards.
Yeah.
Like, where's the Keon rookie card? I was listening to Sam Amick today. He was on with Carmichael Dave and Jay Ross and Christopher Ladd. And Sam is saying, why would Keon re-sign here? The way the Kings have handled this, why would he want to stay here? Maybe they would overpay if they don't trade him. But if he is not going to re-sign and the Kings know that, all right, he's probably not going to want to re-sign with us, they almost have to trade him.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be gone, and I don't want him to go, Jay. And I know I've been kind of just with blinders on, like, oh, he's great, and he fits what they're doing. I think they're going to keep Keon. They'll find a way to keep him. And after hearing Sam today and just thinking about it and hearing everybody who understands what's going on, I don't think Keon's going to make it through the deadline as a King.
So we know that conversation on this network, on this station, has been a lot of Sabonis is at his lowest value, right? As far as interest, because he out of sight, out of mind. And so could there be back channel conversations between Monk and Keon and management and coaching to say, look, guys, short term, we got the trade deadline coming up. We got to feature some of these veterans to make sure that they're out there showing the league what they can do. The playing time will come behind this after the trade deadline once we move some of our veterans for some other pieces.
That's what I've been assuming.
Yes.
But, yeah.
And so maybe Keon is just waiting in the wings until the time comes.
But the other side of that, and I don't disagree with that, but the other side of it is, based on what we're hearing, there's a lot of interest in him. There's a lot of teams that want him. So that means when he becomes a free agent, he's going to have a lot of suitors, and he may say, yeah, I liked it here and everything, but it's kind of squirrely, and I think I'm going to go somewhere else. And if the Kings have reason to believe that's the case, they'll have to trade him. There's reports they could get Dalton Connect for him. Just pick up the phone.
Is that what we want?
That's not what I want, but that's what. Aren't you a big Dalton Connect guy?
I was at the time in a weak draft. So last year's draft was a weak draft, and the Kings had the opportunity to draft Dalton Connect, and they passed. So for me, Keon is he's a homegrown talent. Like I want people that start with us. I mean, played at Stockton for God's sake.
I know.
Like that. I want those players that are good to stay in the. I don't want to turn into the A's, right? To where we grow them through the system and then we ship them off, and then you watch them succeed somewhere else, right? And I think we saw that during the in-season playing tournament, Knicks versus Spurs.
Yeah,
that was a painful one to watch.
The tough thing is, and we've talked about it on the show the last couple of days, is, and not Whitey, but some kind of way we created it, don't want anyone probably under 25, right? Keon's 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't want people
over 25. Excuse me, over 25. He's not fitting the timeline anymore, is he?
It's close. I understand your point. It's close.
If this team is going to be bad for 3 years, we're hunting and pecking towards the back end of his prime. And that's being hopeful 3 years, right?
But the other thing is, even if you like him, if you don't think he's going to stay,
but
you got to.
He also doesn't have a lot of mileage on him either.
Right?
No, he doesn't.
So when you look at a player, and you look at players that are playing into their mid-30s that are still at a high level, you got to think about how sports medicine, how training, how diets will be changing over the next 4 or 5 years, even improving and extending careers even further. Somebody like Keon that doesn't have a lot of mileage on him could go well into a later prime, even if he is a little older.
When we come back, we're going to catch up on John McMullen and the Eagles. He's been covering the Eagles for years, so what does he think of the 49ers' chances this week? How do the Eagles survive this onslaught of Kyle Shanahan master classness? We'll find out next with John McMullen on Sactown Sports.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Sometimes you need country music. Next time you have that feeling, check out New Country 105.1 KNCI, where you have 4 opportunities each weekday to win $1,000 and double your paycheck. New Country for Sacramento, 105.1 KNCI.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
What do the 49ers have to do to have a shot of pulling off the upset against the Eagles? Did they really tank last week's season finale in order to, they get a week's worth of rest, but also because they wanted to play the 49ers? Nice enough to join us here to shed some light on that and more. He's been covering the Eagles he's been covering the NFL for 2 decades. He's been covering the Eagles on a daily basis since 2016. Radio and TV analyst, co-host of the Birds 365 pod, John McMullen with us. How are you today, John?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And, a lot of 49er fans are pretty anxious about the team with all the injuries and the way they played last week. We're hearing some rumblings out of Philly that Eagle fans, because of some of the issues the team has had this year, they're not overly confident. Where would you say the fan base is with this game and this, I will call it a rivalry?
Well, I would say Eagles fans are very angst-ridden about the offense. That's what it's about. And obviously, you change offensive coordinators, which has been a constant theme in Philadelphia since Nick Sirianni sort of morphed into a CEO coach, whereas you guys obviously have maybe the best offensive mind in the game in Kyle Shanahan. So, when the play caller and the play designer is the head coach, you don't have to worry about coordinators leaving. But for the Eagles, it's been one of two things. Either they reach expectations, they go to the Super Bowl, they win the Super Bowl in one case, you lose coaches like Shane Steichen and Kellen Moore, or you don't reach expectations, and then a coach like Brian Johnson and perhaps Kevin Petullo this season, if they lose to the 49ers, probably going to get fired. So it's been that constant turnover, and a lot of people look at the coaching, and I got to be honest with you, I think they give the coaches more credit than they deserve. It's about the talent, and the talent is not performing up to what it did last year when Saquon Barkley had an historic rushing season. He went from 2,005 yards down to 1,100 and something. The offensive line was the best in football last year. Now it's been, having some difficulties due to injuries and the physicality they went through last year. So the offense is the problem. and people are worried about it, no question.
John, one of the main focuses here for the 49ers has been the lack of defensive pass rush, especially on the line. Of course, the linebackers, pick and choose. It's anybody at this point. Maybe you might come off the bench and play for the 49ers. With that being said, Lane Johnson is allegedly, maybe not, a daily checkup. How's he looking to come back for the Eagles?
I think we may have been disconnected when we heard that. So we'll try to get John McMullen back online as quickly as we can. I was just thinking, Jay, as you were asking that question, you found a great guy to talk to out of Philadelphia because, a lot of times you talk to people from Philadelphia about the Eagles, and they're full of bluster, and your team not that good. And here we found a guy that's like, this team's really struggled this year. I think the coaches get too much credit. So I think we're getting somewhere with John McMullen. As far as the 49ers injury situation today goes, looks like Trent Williams was back at practice and practicing. Are we good, Jay?
Yeah, John is back with us.
John back with us. Did you you want to rephrase your question, Jay?
Yeah, John, I don't know if you had heard me. We're struggling here defensively as far as pass rush and linebacker, the front seven. Lane Johnson is someone that could or maybe not could come back. Just checking on a daily checkup on his status right now. John, you there?
Well, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to discontinue the conversation. For some reason, we're having a hard time with John McMullen, Eagles insider. It was interesting yesterday. We talked to somebody from Philadelphia, and we were asking them about the notion that's pretty popular around these parts that the Eagles have had trouble stopping the run. And Anthony Gargano told us that they had a bad game against the Bears, but really that's not a real soft spot. Hasn't really been an issue. The problem for the 49ers is going to be getting some pressure on Jalen Hurts. And it's like Jay was just saying, they just aren't getting pressure on anybody. Where are we, Jay?
We'll give it one more try.
One more try.
One more valiant try. John, you got us?
He does not.
He does not. Wow.
All right. No, I got you.
Oh, you got okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. Hey, there you go. John, I was just trying to check the status of Lane Johnson this week.
No, I don't have Jay.
You don't have me?
Oh. Okay, that's the problem. All right, John. Sorry about that. Listen, can you tell us what it is about the 49ers that concerns the Eagles the most?
I would say definitely Christian McCaffrey, number one, first and foremost. I mean, everybody knows how difficult it is to stop him. He was on the cusp of being the first player to have 2,000 seasons, just missed it on the receiving side. So such a unique player, really difficult matchup. And if you look at sort of how the Eagles play defensively, in Vic Fangio, how Vic Fangio's played defensively, it's, he's going to limit explosive plays on the outside, but there's a little bit of susceptible to take advantage of things underneath in the seam, and nobody can do that better than Christian McCaffrey. So I would say number one on everybody's mind in Philadelphia in this building is Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. John, you got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, there
Okay,
you go. Maybe it was on my side. Yeah, it's my problem. Right. Did you give a update on Lane Johnson?
I haven't.
Yeah, is he playing? Is he not going to play? I'll keep it super quick and short this time.
Yeah, he's playing. He's limited. He's been limited, but he's been at practice both Wednesday and Thursday. Missed the final 7 games of the regular season, but yeah, he's going to give it a go. He had a Liz Frank injury, sprain, didn't have to have the operation, which was the key. But it's a very painful injury. So it's one of those you're going to want to keep an eye on it, and But I don't think there's any doubt he's starting the game. The question to me is, will he finish the game? And that to me is the bigger question. But he's definitely going to try to give it a go.
Catching up with John McMullen. He's been covering the NFL for 2 decades. He's the co-host of the Birds 365 pod. How would you compare these two quarterbacks? How are they similar? How are they most different?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of similar quarterbacks to Jalen Hurts. He's very unique. He doesn't play, and I think that's part of the problem when people evaluate him. I think a lot of critics want more of a traditional quarterback, and he's not that, but he's very difficult to deal with. So he's never going to be a high-volume thrower, but I think you're going to see his legs be a bigger factor. They've tried to manage him. They've tried to be more cautious to get him healthy to the playoffs. They've done that. He is healthy. So I think that's going to enter into the equation more in the postseason. And he can still beat you throwing the football. But I think when you look at Brock Purdy, more of a traditional, I would say, has some mobility, but traditional quarterback, and that's what people think of. But Jalen Hurts' resume speaks for itself. The guy just wins football games, and I'm not a win and loss as a quarterback stat. I don't think it is. But when you're an outlier and you win so much, I think you have to start taking notice of that. And that's been Jalen Hurts in his career. Few have won at the level that he's won.
John, you're at the facility pretty much daily. We've heard here on the West Coast that there could have been a little bit of strife between the players of the team versus the coaching staff of did the Eagles really want to sit all their guys this past week, and did they really want to face the 49ers versus maybe the Packers? With that being said, just the vibe that you're feeling from some of the players heading into Sunday.
Well, no, I mean, the veteran players, I think, they were happy that they got a little bit of a rest. A lot of these guys, remember, they played 21 games last season, and they're trying to make a similar run this season. So I think the biggest issue when I talked about the offense, we all kind of looked at the touches, and you guys will probably go through this next season with Christian, over 400 touches. I think Saquon ended up at 482 last year. And we're all looking at it, and is he going to be the same guy? And he hasn't from a production standpoint. But I think what we missed is the punishment the offensive line took, with creating those holes. Landon Dickerson hasn't been healthy all year. Cam Jurgens hasn't been healthy all year. They played through it, but they haven't been the same type of players, even Jordan Mailata to a certain degree. So I think that's been the biggest issue. So I think most of the veteran players were happy for the respite. I don't think they were trying to match up with the 49ers, if that's what people think out there. I think it was more of, to be honest, I think it was a little bit hubris that they thought they beat Washington with their backups, which they didn't do. I think they thought they would win that game, and they were trying, if things worked out, to get that number 2 seed. But it wasn't about Packers versus 49ers. It was about rest and getting these guys as healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm. John, we appreciate your time, and sorry about some of the issues we've had here. We'll let you go on this one. Other than scoring the most points, what's the most important thing the Niners have to do to have a chance to win this game? Could it be just running the ball successfully? Is that the biggest thing they have to get done this week?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to, they've been very good on special teams, the 49ers. Michael Clay, the Eagles special teams coordinator, used to work out in San Francisco, had mentioned how good they've been. From my standpoint, from an outsider looking at the 49ers, they're just too banged up, I think, at this stage. But if they're going to pull off the upset, I think they got to make a play on special teams. It's got to be something like that. It's got to be a return, got to be a block, got to be something where they create some offense on special teams. Then I think they can maybe steal the game. Obviously, Christian's got to play really well. George Kittle's got to play really well. I saw Trent Williams was back out there. That's obviously important. They can move the football. Vic has generally had Kyle's number, but, if you look at the quarterbacks Kyle's worked with, and it's been a long time, but those two have tremendous respect for each other. I think it's the best offensive mind against the best defensive mind. But I think talent wins out in the end, and I think right now the 49ers are a little bit too banged up. I'd have a different conversation if Fred Warner was out there and Nick Bosa, but they're not.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Thank you, John. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the game.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it'd be great if you didn't enjoy it too much, if things didn't go the Eagles' way. That's the thing, Jay. We sit here and spin it this way and that way, and if the 49ers can do this and that, but it comes down to, man, they're just so banged up. How are they going to have a shot? How, Jay?
Yeah.
How?
They're going to have to go out there and prove it to everybody, right?
What does that mean for the 49ers if their chances of winning come down to the 49ers making some special teams plays?
Well, that means we're in a good position because they've been pretty good.
They have been good this
all
year.
Good year.
As
much as we've been detractors of them over the last couple of years, you got to pat them on the back and say, hey, you guys have been well. You never know. I've consistently talked about the health issues and the problems that the 49ers face. It's hard to really work around it. And it is a part of the great Gary Gerald, the G-Man, opened up the pregame for the Sacramento Kings last game in saying that injuries are a part of the game. But, man, the reality of it is it detours competition. Now, he said it in his own way. It detours winning for a team. Mm-hmm. And when you're just hurt and you're banged up, there's really no opportunity.
Right.
Unfortunately, haters won't let you live that down.
Right. No excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah.
But truly, and I did a exercise, and maybe we'll do it at the a little later in the show, but I went through the roster of the 49ers and who was penciled in as the starter heading into the season. And it is amazing. You probably
how few of them are still there.
You would be amazed who was even suiting up, let alone starting. Mm-hmm. It is crazy that the 49ers have faced this type of injury, deprivation for their team.
Yeah. The Eagles and the 49ers don't play a lot against each other, but they've played some big games of late. And maybe some of it is you've got two big brands. I think this is I use the word rivalry with John McMullen, and I feel it. Every time they play the Eagles, especially, it's, obviously there's rivalry teams for the 49ers, but I think 49ers Eagles, because they played so many big games over the last 5 years, whatever, that's a real rivalry there.
Definitely starting to become one. Brandon Graham, defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, was on a podcast, and he talked about, some of the history of the 49ers and the Eagles the last couple of years. And it is there because 49er fans are like, yo, if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, we beat you.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And then the Eagles like, yeah, no, you wouldn't have. And you got the W. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And then the second time he's like, yo, the 49ers came in and they were in their black jerseys and we could feel it. We understood where they were coming from. And it was like a funeral. And he said they pretty much knocked us down to where we lost our life on the field, hypothetically speaking. And so they know it. The players know it. The way the 49ers approached that W in Philadelphia against the Eagles, because they all felt it was their championship or their Super Bowl to at least get to the Super Bowl to lose, their NFC championship game to lose when Brock Purdy got hurt. So it's an interesting, and it makes it's even, I guess, a little more interesting for us because we have Kyle Draper and, we got Cuz Gargano. We got some connections. I don't want to lose to them.
Right.
I don't want to lose to the Eagles. So there is something there.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of going back a ways to the Bill Walsh, Bill Parcells, that era, 49ers Giants. Yeah. They played some huge postseason
Especially,
games.
I was going to say postseason games, no doubt about it. Yeah. And the Niners more times than not won, but there were one or two times, and I'm kidding here, but a little bit, they've won. The Giants won. Of course, they got the championship, and, that's what's great about the rivalry conversation. And they always say to be a rivalry, you got to win. You got to beat the team a few times or, succeed. But the 49ers history since the 80s have would you agree, there's kind of been bits and parts of their history where it's like, oh, yeah, we kind of really dislike this team.
Yeah.
And then maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, you kind of forget about them.
Mm-hmm.
But like Packers, I feel like we have a definitely little rivalry with them. For sure, the Rams, who also branched off and came back. You also have the Seahawks. Definitely. Mm-hmm. There was probably a little bit of push. Would you agree with the Cardinals for a quick little minute?
A little bit.
Yeah,
it's play them twice a year.
Yeah, it's like we gotta play them guys again. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. You talked about the Giants, of course, the Cowboys.
Right.
We always talk about that.
But the bottom line is the Eagles have won multiple Super Bowls since the 49ers last one.
No, why are you bringing that up?
Well, it's just a fact of the matter. At some point, like the rivalry starts to, fade away if at some point you don't beat them in a big playoff game.
Whose side you on here, Whitey?
I am on the side of the scarlet and gold.
Okay, all right. We haven't talked about this. I know they lost. They probably played maybe the worst game of the season. What did you think about the uniforms this past Saturday?
They kind of grew on me a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Because when I first saw them, they came out. They were announced early in the year. I thought, those are terrible. Didn't like them. Kind of grew to like the helmets. But I will just say, vast majority of people I saw on social media, especially the media members, hated them.
Really?
Hated them.
I think a lot of people dislike them now because of the way they played.
Yeah.
The results.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting. I thought they should have ran them out maybe twice, this year. Put them out there. And it's
I don't
kind
know
of
why you have new uniforms that you wear once in the last game of the year.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like, the league dictated it.
I think
you're going to have to wear this. All right, you know what? We'll put it dead last, and nobody will care. And I don't know how the organization went about it, but that's how I felt. I seen it took too long to reveal them, to get them out and let the players wear them versus.
But you liked them, didn't you?
I did going into it.
Yeah.
I'm a little hamstrung on them right now, and maybe, again, it's just because of the results. I wouldn't mind buying a Fred Warner, but wear them again. Let's see, because if you're losing them again, and I'm all the way out.
The best argument against them is the argument that the 49ers are a team that is so well known. The brand is so well established. It's like the Yankees. You don't wear alternates. That's for other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I get that. And I did feel that a little bit watching. Was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't really hate those uniforms, but something doesn't look and feel right.
Yeah. I can hear. I understand what you're talking about. I respect that.
49ers are above alternates. And
Very
things of that
true.
nature.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Give me the white, the gold, the red. We'll leave it there.
Real quick, I wanted to circle back to Keon. I know it caught your eye, this talk of Keon Ellis possibly being a candidate for trade with the Knicks. The Athletic wrote something about this today. The Athletic, in a piece that was put together by James Edwards III.
Buddha.
He's just talking about all the different potential candidates for a trade because the Knicks are looking for some help, especially on the perimeter defensively. And he talks about in this piece a potential deal involving Keon Ellis and maybe Gershon Yabusele?
Gershon Yabusele.
Who has really fallen off, but he has a player option for next year, and he is a front court player. And he also points out, as the author of this piece, Brown coached Ellis, his intel could certainly steer the decision makers in a certain direction. Again, there's a list of players here. Keon is just one of the players. This writer isn't saying, oh, they've had talks. I don't see it, Jay. I don't think Mike was, he liked Keon personally, but I don't know that he was that crazy about Keon, the player.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It'd be very interesting to see how it plays out, and if it was to happen, how we would react here in Sacramento and amongst the kingdom, because I feel like there's a majority of people who think Mike and Keon didn't get, they don't mesh, and Mike didn't like Keon, and Keon maybe didn't mesh with Mike's attitude or his coaching style.
Not to, this is for you to say or
Sure.
not coming on. I think you were at a session where Mike was kind of breaking down some things about Keon's game that were like not where he wanted him to be.
Yeah, definitely. Because and Mike, it's been out, it's been publicized and promoted for a while. He definitely pulled all the reporters that were at practice at the time and was like, "Yo, look, let me just show you. These are some things that you guys as fans probably miss, but as the head coach of this team, and of course my scouting department, these are a lot of things that we're asking this gentleman to do, and he's not capable or has not been capable of doing those things. And that's why I consistently talk about it. If you have, and we all have our own time and how we see the game, and some people are novice, some people, are quote unquote experts, and some people are just traditional fans. But I think for the most part, we all believe Keon is very good at defending another person or the team that they're playing. I think the real deficiency that some people have consistently called out Keon is his one-on-one defensive tactics aren't what it's all cracked up to be. And so that's what Mike Brown was really breaking it down to simplify it. It's like, he's a good team defender, no doubt about it. And does he get his hands on a lot of different things? Absolutely. Is he going to be good on the defensive side? Yes. His anticipation is top notch. He's very quick with it. He's got good feet, got good athleticism. But to take the next step, to be one of those guys, Dyson Daniels, to be those guys, we need him to play on the perimeter one-on-one and lock a person down. And we're not getting that. And he's out of position, which is causing other guys to be out of position. He's getting worked when we're asking him to be the guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't see it that way.
Yeah, none of that was personal. That was all basketball related, but I have a hard time based on that. And maybe, Keon has improved, and obviously Mike Brown and his staff and scouts recognize improvement. Perhaps he's changed his views, but I based on what I know, I can't see Mike Brown going, that's the guy we need to get to turn things around here. And then if it was just for Gershon Yabusele, bless him, but I he's a front court player. Kings need that. Bottom line, Jay, Keon, Knicks, to me, no match.
No match.
No match.
Yeah, you got it down there. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Would it not be interesting if it did happen? Because then we could start to, I guess, promote some ideas that, well, maybe he wasn't on what it cracked up to be, when Mike was here with Keon. Maybe somebody was telling story. I don't know, Well, it just leaves room for us to conversate about it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there that day, but to me, if it was Mike saying it, then it was really Mike saying it. It wasn't somebody telling Mike to say it.
No, it was Mike saying it.
That's
for sure.
my
It was
view.
Mike saying it.
Yeah. Giannis, meanwhile, declares he's all in on being a Buck until he's not. Next with the Drive Guys.
This is the Drive, baby. Alan Stiles says farewell to the middays. Afternoons, here he comes. Beginning January 12th.
It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and now Alan Stiles. Kings, Niners, NFL. Alan's college baseball stats and Major League Baseball talk. Weekday afternoons 2 to 6 on your number one sports station in Sacramento. Sactown Sports 1140.
Growing your business? It's all about having the right team on the court. At Bank of Marin, we partner with businesses in the greater Sacramento area, delivering personalized service and local expertise to help you make a slam dunk. Whether it's customized lending or solutions to keep your business growing, you'll benefit from local decision making, expanding, acquiring additional assets, or building a lasting banking relationship. We're ready for tip-off. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, January 10th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
So, guys, feeling low energy or low drive? It could be low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health, start with a free T-check and consultation. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off TRT. Book now at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
To my knowledge, that's the first time I've heard you play Rush. Am I right, Jay? You played a little Rush there?
You know, to be completely honest, I put this into my folder and I mislabeled it. It just says Limelight, so that probably is the name of the song. Don't know the band. My bad.
Is that
who this is?
Rush.
Okay.
Eddie Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, bad job by me.
That's
Wayne.
all right. The great power trio. This is a big night for what it's worth in the Gleason household. It's Thursday night, so it's ice cream night. But also,
wait. Now don't overstep where we going.
I don't know what kind. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fair question. I'm not sure what kind of ice cream.
I like
we'll
to be
have tonight.
surprised.
Also tonight, our favorite TV show returns, The Pit. The Pit returns to HBO Max tonight. This is season 2. Be on for 15 weeks. They do it kind of old school. They don't just all right. The whole thing is available now streaming. They just do one a week on HBO Max, one episode. And the good thing about it is,
what's The Pit, brother?
The Pit is a medical show, but a lot of medical shows on TV, they're basically, and there's a lot of good ones, but basically they're kind of soap operas, and the people in them just happen to be doctors. But this show is about medical professionals and how, it's like all this soap opera stuff is like, oh, yeah, but that guy's a brain surgeon. Yeah. But this is about what it's like to work in a hospital and the incredible and amazing and bizarre and horrifying things that people go through to take care of patients. And my wife works at a hospital, so maybe that's one of the reasons we appreciate it. But it is intense.
Yeah, you've talked about it before.
Yeah, and it's very well done. It won a ton of awards, and it's already been season 3 has already been green lit, and season 2 only starts tonight. So.
Oh yeah, so you have some things to look forward to.
Good stuff.
Ah, boy, are you guys locking in for the debut tonight, or you just we'll get to it next couple of days?
Park it weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have more time with it. You'll be watching football tonight, right? Which starts before we're even done.
Yes, sir. College football. I'm all about it. I'd love to see. Ole Miss is playing tonight, which we know Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not an SEC supporter as much as UT guy. I'd like to see someone else get the W.
Yes.
Miami, I'm rooting for you. The U, let's go.
This is the warm-up game, right, for tomorrow night?
I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Quarterback matchup tomorrow night?
Yeah. You know what's interesting is I saw somebody, not escapes me, my apologies, football player in the league, who was in the league and now is an analyst of some sorts, and they were talking about the quarterbacks and how big of the matchup this is going to be between Oregon and Indiana, and was like, this may go as far as into the draft. It's depending on who beats who, what team, Oregon versus Indiana. And he was saying, that's a little blasphemy because you can't grade one person by the way the whole entire team plays. It's pretty interesting.
It is.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It speaks to me to just how when it comes to evaluating players, nobody really knows. It's all guesswork.
Yeah. You play any dice in your life?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have any right now, but no doubt about it.
Yeah. Oh, Mendoza dominated in the cone drill. So, not like he's going to be
the shuttle.
doing a lot of that.
He ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
All he's doing is running a 40. He'll probably do the shuttle, and then he's going to throw, and he'll be done.
Do you think if he goes to the Raiders, whatever team he goes to, the center, the 2 guards, the tackles, will they call them the Mendoza line?
Ooh.
Remember the Mendoza line?
Yeah. Don't give it away. You might be able to put a T or something out there.
Yeah. I don't know how many people remember the old Mendoza line. Giannis last night, after the Bucks fell to the Warriors, he actually talked to Sam Amick. I know Sam talked about this today on the Christopher Lodge Show with J. Ross. Carmichael Dave may appear. And apparently, Sam was talking to Giannis last night, and the bus was like, they were waiting. They're like, Giannis, let's go. And he was like, hold on just a minute. And he stuck around to spend a little more time with Sam Amick. But here's the thing that would drive me crazy if I were a Bucks fan, and it may involve the Kings in a roundabout way. So here's Sam Amick. So that's kind of what I wanted to see, if you're willing and comfortable to say, listen, I'm not going anywhere right now. And Giannis says, I am not. I am invested in this team. I want to turn this team around. I want to play good basketball. I want to be healthy. I want to help my teammates. I want to win games. The last 6 games we played, we're 4-2. We have a lot of games in front of us. I'm locked the F in. I'm locked in. My priority is just staying healthy. So Sam follows up. The way your situation has been framed is that in the next few weeks before February 5th, you have to decide whether you want out. Am I hearing you correctly that you have decided? Giannis says, as of today. You know how they say this thing about your significant other or your wife? You always have to say, as of today. So he's locked the F in, Jay. As for today.
Get signed, get in camp, and we don't drop the ball.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Sam says, I hear you, but that's the stuff where the fans are then going to say, oh, he's leaving and out. And Giannis, I don't care. I really don't care. You make a great point. Some of this is he's leaving and out, maybe not so much for him and him changing his mind just because I'm changing my mind, but he's sending a subliminal message there, or maybe not subliminal after all. Pretty overt message to the Bucks. Like, you know, it would change my mind if you don't get anything done at the deadline. I might change my mind in a hurry.
Yeah, as of today, January 7th or whatever, the 7th, I'm good. I'm cool, and we're focused on winning, and that's what we're going to do. But come February 6th, if nothing is done that I like, then probably not. Get rid of me. Or maybe leading up to February 5th, the deadline, trade deadline, he may say, you know, I'm out. Get me out of here and figure it out before February 5th.
And the Kings could be involved in this, of course, because it looks like the Bucks have interest in a couple of players in particular. According to reports, they're looking at Jeremy Grant with Portland. They're looking at Zach LaVine. It's been reported that the Bucks have had some interest in Zach LaVine going back to last year. If they swung a deal for Jeremy Grant, they might get some sweetener in return. I don't think the Kings are going to give anybody any sweetener for Zach LaVine. At least that's what they would have us believe. And in fact, we know that the Kings are saying, well, we are going to need to do this deal where we take Portis and who is it? It's Portis and Kyle Kuzma. You get Zach LaVine. We need a draft pick back.
Right. We need a little sweet and low. We need a little equal. Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know if I'm in the Bucks, which way I'm going there. We used to talk a lot about Jeremy Grant on this show last year, and especially the trade deadline before that. Because remember, every time we looked at players, his name would pop up. And if you remember, Jay, one day I was like, I was in on Jeremy Grant. Next day, I don't know. Well, he's had a nice career, but that ship has sailed.
Done, huh?
Yeah.
He's no longer at the port for you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking, if I'm the Bucks, like, I don't know that he can help us anymore. Zach LaVine can help them just from the standpoint of, creating space for Giannis, because it's one thing about Zach LaVine. We can say what we want about his money and this and that, and he hasn't won here, hasn't won there, but he can shoot, Jay.
Yeah,
There's no denying that.
And he can put it up when he wants to.
Yes.
And if he gets on a run, it's very difficult for anybody to stop him. Like, one thing about him is on the offensive side, he is super talented.
Yes.
For whatever reason, there's some lows, things. People see him from a different light. Everybody has a different opinion, and that's perfectly fine. But he definitely can score. He can score with the best of them. He definitely can shoot.
So he would bring a lot to the party that you would think would help the Bucks. And I don't know. You have to wonder, to what extent have they discussed this with Giannis, or what does Giannis think of Zach LaVine? Or maybe it's not even appropriate for them to have talked to him about that at this point. But there's a potential match there, which would be great for the Kings, especially if they could get, you don't need me to tell you, a 2031 first-round pick, pardon me. At this point, I'm thinking, well, that'd be great, but I don't see that. So a lot of this with Giannis and how he feels about it, I'm locked in, I'm locked the F in as of today. The Kings could have a there could be some ramifications in all this for the Kings going forward.
Well, call me when it happens. I'm at that point. Right. Call me when it happens. Truly.
We're getting there.
I know. And I think Trae Young's domino falling is going to open, as I talked about, it's going to open up the market here a little bit. But I'd like to see some movement and action instead of all the talking that we completely get. We are continuing all the talk.
I know. You want to talk about Kuminga.
And not, yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about him here. But if it's going to happen, let's let it happen. And if it's not going to happen, then we'll move on. And that's the way I feel with the Giannis situation. Truly. I'm saying that as an NBA fan. If Giannis is going to move, make a move. And the way I see it is Giannis is truly saying, I'm not comfortable here without a little bit of assistance or help or a recalibration of where, I need you to put the outline of where we're going in the future. Now, for the Sacramento Kings, prudent, optimistic, all these opportunistic.
Yeah.
Opportunistic. For me, that's opportunistic. Because you might have an opportunity to kind of poach some things away from players who are kind of, going through it with their team or the situation with the Bucks. Mm-hmm. We might. Desperation is one heck of a
great motivator.
Come on now. Mm-hmm. So the Kings definitely have to be a little patient here. And I know, as speaking as a fan, I know I'm not, but we're a month away. Mm-hmm. We're a month away. Yeah. But I definitely say this. And I'm doubling it down on it every single day. The Kings better do something. They better do something. It's not going to be good if they don't.
I hope you're right, but I'm not sure I see why the Trae Young trade would actually open any floodgates. I mean, I hope it does. I hope we have more trades to talk about. I hope the Kings make some trades. But when I think about it, Trae Young wanted out of there. That situation has been going on since, longer than the summer. And he and his people went to the Hawks and said, let's work something out. I think that might have been just an individual situation there that might not have any impact on other trades. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not sure it's going to open anything up.
I would push back on it a little bit in the form of this, Whitey, is we've also heard, just like we've heard all these different names, that the Falcons, the Hawks want to get better now. They believe the Eastern Conference is wide open. They think they have something with Jalen Johnson and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and so on and so forth. And everybody keeps throwing Anthony Davis's name out there tied to the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks are done. I think they're going to make a move, albeit it may not be AD, but I think they're going to make another move because I believe they feel like, look, we want to see how good some of these guys like a Jalen Johnson is. And if we want to make the playoffs, which they're slated to do right now, and we want to see how these youngsters respond, and we ain't pick up Nickeil Alexander-Walker with all that money to be sitting around. So I think they're going to make a move, which allows me to think in my mind that something else has got to happen. Somebody else has got to break bread too now. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, opportunistic, Sacramento Kings, you need to be picking up the phone.
Back to the 49ers when we come back. I don't know whether the 49ers will win the Super Bowl, but I'll tell you why they don't deserve to next on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we got you covered. It's The Drive Guys.
Pool Guy Mark went in. Thanks for being with us, Pool Guy Mark. Says, I would trade anybody and everybody for draft picks on this team.
Ooh.
We also have some reviews coming in for the Pit. Chris with a case says, why I can't wait for the Pit. From the 916, my wife is a retired trauma nurse. We really enjoyed the Pit. She said the medical stuff happening is pretty legit. She said all that stuff doesn't typically happen in just one day, LOL. But that the kinds of things and the medical terminology and everything was pretty spot on. Not perfect, but really, really good. Yeah, my wife says that too. When they're talking, they bring in a patient, they're talking about what's the O2 stats and whatever they talk about. And my wife says, yeah, that's pretty spot on. That's how it actually happens.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Real fast, Whitey. Somebody, and I had it up. My bad. I should have get back to it. But here you go. From Devo. I want to make sure we put this in there right at the top of the show. There are few, if any, forms of intimate as radio. As a regular listener, I really appreciate both of you guys for being a voice in Sacramento and giving fans and listeners a platform. I can come a little spicy at times with my Kings takes, but it's all love at the end of the day, and I appreciate you guys. And that truly.
Thank you.
Very much so. Thank you.
Yeah.
And in ditto, because we come spicy, at least I know I do. You know, I'm like piece of Popeye's chicken. I'm definitely spicy, brother.
Love that chicken at Popeyes.
Yeah. You're a Popeye's fan, man?
I've never been there.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You've never been to Popeye's chicken?
I have not.
Dog, I'm doing a disfavor to this whole entire community.
I have nothing against it.
You can't have anything against it if you've never been there.
I know. I've just, KFC from when I was.
Yep.
The
Colonel's got your heart.
And there's a Popeyes not too far from where we live, and it's just if we're getting fried chicken, we just go to KFC. I just never have.
Listen, what is today? The 8th?
Uh-huh.
Thursday the 8th. Mm-hmm. If by next Thursday, me and you don't have Popeyes, I give everyone listening to it. We're going to try it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying it's world beater chicken, but I'm also saying you got to be opportunistic and prudent.
Yes. And I have not been either when it comes to Popeye's chicken.
Right. Come on, Al.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Are you a white meat or dark meat kind of guy?
White.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I got my nickname.
Duh, that was a dumb question by me.
Pool Guy Mark also says, like the show. Hey, where are you going now with this new shakeup? Are you going to be in the morning, afternoon, or evening? Oh, we're right here. Alan is joining this show. Yeah, Alan is going to be part of this. We'll be right here. Absolutely. As far as I know.
Don't be like Giannis now.
I was telling Alan that's what he should tell Drapes. Because Alan has a thing about the fact that I always did the crossover with Alan. Drapes never did.
He said he didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah. And Alan's like, he's dodging me. He never wanted to talk to me.
Well, first of all, and Alan has to understand this, and pardon me for jumping in real fast. Alan has to, and I'll be the first one to tell him, Drapes was here at 2:06 anyway. So it wasn't on a purpose situation or purposely that he wasn't doing a crosstalk.
But there may have been a time or two when Alan's doing the crossover and Drapes is sitting in there where you are now and just sitting there and like,
set the precedent, man. You set the precedent, you leave it there.
So what I was telling Alan today is, look, when we talk to Drapes, because Drapes comes on all the time and does the Drapes Takes, you can tell him, hey, Drapes, you left and I took over for you. But Alan can say when he left, it took 2 people to replace him.
Ooh, I like where you're going.
With Matt and Kayla becoming the new midday show. Yeah.
You know Drapes would have something high and fly to say right back. But that's a start. That's a start.
Uh-huh.
What, is Alan really excited to talk to Drapes all of a sudden? Like he wants to bring him down a notch, a peg, or what?
He mentioned literally on the air when it was announced. I heard him talking about that. Drapes, you can... I think I told you, Drapes, you can run, but you can't hide.
I'm telling you, man, if I'm Draper, I don't even answer his questions. I wouldn't even give the time of the day. I would make sure the precedent is set.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting.
Uh-huh. By the way, Pool Guy Mark is wondering about you as well, Jay.
About what?
But you're here, right?
Yes.
Like, what show are you?
I'm rocking with Mr. Gleason.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yes. Good question, but yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm with Mr. Gleason, brother.
And we're getting some Popeye's chicken, apparently.
Of course. Somebody from, or Noah from West Sac. Jay, try the fried chicken at Ramen and More off of Howe Avenue. It's fantastic. No doubt. I'm putting it in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my, here we go, 2026 people have all the different things that they want to try and do things new, and that more power to you. Do that. But what I'm going to try and do this year for myself is Sacramento, as much as I talk about the name Farm to Fork, we are tremendously blessed and we are flourishing as a community when it comes to our food scenery. And my wife is from the Bay Area, but
whereabouts?
She's from San Francisco, from the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she grew up also in Fairfield too, which is not the Bay. That's a whole nother conversation. Even though it's the 707, they're like, you guys carry Fairfield. And Vacaville, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys are carrying the 707 for them. But I that's a quick little jab because we always go back and forth. But my wife coming up here, which is crazy, it's not that far, but she's never lived in Sacramento. So when we moved from the Bay and came here, one of the things she's talked about is especially coming from Fairfield, which is not that big as far as land, businesses, scenery of food. Sacramento has a plethora of restaurants that I truly want to try. So you know how it is. You see something, Whitey, and you're like, man, we got to eat there one day. But we're all kind of getting, and I think this is kind of what you were saying, we get into our routine.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of get into the rhythm where it's like, our habit is to kind of go to that place when we want Chinese food or Indian food.
Right.
Where there's 50 other ones going on. And so I'm going to try to break that monotony for me this year.
Yeah.
I want to try so many different places. So I'm open. Thank you, Noah. I definitely will go there. And when I do, I'm not going to say it's next week or 2 weeks or a month, but it's going to go on my list because I'm compiling one and I'm going to go there one day.
I am not as culinarily adventurous as I should be.
Okay.
Like you say.
That.
What do you want to have? Let's have Chinese food. Let's go to our Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
That's good.
The same one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Need to branch out, try different things.
Well, we're starting with Popeyes, brother.
Uh-huh.
You know, we'll do that. And we also have to do a lunch date at Vic's, too, now that it's back. I saw the lines when they opened it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, Whitey, I was super impressed about it. I was like, man, I didn't know that many people. It is.
Yeah.
It is, but I felt maybe because it's been gone that we forgot about it or something. So salute to all the Sacramentans for rocking with Vic's and their grand opening. And I'm going to make my way over there, too.
There's a lot of good eats around that area, right in that general.
Oh,
you
yeah,
ever
for
been
sure.
to, is it Riverside Clubhouse? You ever been there?
No.
Across from the boneyard?
I have not. I was going to say I know where you're at. No, I have not.
Yeah.
What,
pretty good.
What could I partake in over there? Is it American? Is it what?
Yeah.
Okay,
a
the
good
cuisine is
breakfast
American.
spot.
Okay.
Been there for breakfast a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your go-to? Your waffle? Your pancake?
That's the first time in my life I ever had fried chicken and waffles there.
Oh.
And I thought, why have I never gotten this before?
Right.
It's the greatest thing ever.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially if it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe I throw that on my list too.
Okay.
We got to do something, maybe a weekly thing. Maybe we challenge ourselves to, go out and partake in something brand new.
Right. Yeah.
Starting with Popeyes.
Yeah, and if we take Alan, we'll have it on video because everything. Everything Alan does.
Start calling him Kais and that in a minute.
Yes. Real quick here, Jay. You know that I'm with you on the 49ers. It would be tremendous if the 49ers were to pull out a win here this week.
Yes.
Are they going to win a Super Bowl? Probably not. They might. Probably not. But I'll tell you, in a way, the 49ers do not deserve to win a Super Bowl this year because
we're not going to the Super Bowl.
Because when they had a chance to address their most pressing need, and I said this at the time, they decided not to.
You did.
So you look at the sacks per game in the NFL this year. Denver led the league 4 sacks per game. Go all the way down the list. 32nd of the 32 NFL teams, the 49ers, 1.2 sacks per game. Behind the Jets, behind Arizona, behind everybody. And they had an opportunity. And I know they did pick up Deion White, right? So Keon White, pardon me. Yeah. They did, they didn't do nothing, but they didn't do much. And they had an opportunity to do other things. The Eagles did something. And I think since it was staring them in the face at the deadline, you know what? We got a shot. Maybe we get in the playoffs this year. And they still decided, nah, financially, we don't want to give up any draft picks and have to pay somebody. They did nothing. And if you have a chance to win and you decide to do nothing to increase your chances, improve your chances, you don't deserve to win.
I'll wait till Monday.
I'm not saying they won't win this week. I don't think they will. I hope they do. But and maybe it's foolish to suggest on any level or even imply that, hey, if they'd done more to beef up the pass rush, maybe they'd be a Super Bowl contender. I get it. They probably wouldn't be.
Right.
But it's just frustrating when you're playing these playoff games and every game is, one of the challenges will be getting to the quarterback because the 49ers are incapable of doing that. And they had a chance to do something about that, Jay. That's all.
I got you. No, listen, man, I'm not trying to slow down your mojo at all. I understand where you're coming from. I'm just going to refrain because we're still in the fight. After the fight is officially, and hopefully it's not this weekend, but officially if it becomes over prior to the 49ers winning the Super Bowl, then I'll voice my opinion on that. Can I say that?
Of course you can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Love that chicken at Popeyes. When we come
Can't
back,
believe it, Whitey. Look, we got so many people. We're going to have to talk about this a little bit more because we got a bunch of people chiming in on the fact that you've never tasted none of that Louisiana chicken.
Not proud of it, but it's the truth. Why isn't there more outside interest in DeMar DeRozan? We look at that when we come back. Drive, guys. Don't go away.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-2013. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies guys as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-2013. That's 800-444-2013. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At InShape, we have a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, the after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, bodybuilder, walker, runner, swimmer, spinner, stretcher, rower, climber, jumper, dancer, boxer, sauna seeker, recoverer. Basically, if you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong at InShape. So whether it's your first time or your first time in a while, start the year strong and join today at InShape.com. Find a location nearest to you.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction. Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, January 10th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Tortilla Jackson says we should trade Levine to Popeyes for a 2-piece.
Oh, man, we can't even get a family meal? The beans are right. Man.
May have to throw
the biscuits
is
nothing.
Throw in a sweetener.
Yeah, I might need the sweet tea. Who was it? Tortilla who?
Tortilla Jackson?
Jackson. Shouts out to Tortilla Jackson.
No, Zach LaVine has he has some
got
value.
more value than that, fam.
He may have more value than Trae Young. I don't know, but he may. Did the Kings get it right when, if the reports are true, when they said, nah, we're not interested in getting Trae Young for Zach LaVine in the offseason, when Zach LaVine's people were saying, hey, let's work on something here. And the Kings, according to reports, said, no, we don't want to do that. Did they get that right, Jay? Was that the right move? Did they make a mistake? I'm okay with it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it. I think it depends on the who you're asking, the opinion on who you're asking. But give or take, we'll see. The future will tell us. At this point, I'm not exactly sure. I think me personally, I would have probably rather had Trae because I think Trae truly, and I know they probably chose to go to Washington. I'm not exactly sure if Trae's going to opt out or not. To me, I think Zach opts in the $49 million next year. Trae, I'm not sure. Trae might have said, well, I might want to go down here to Miami or the Lakers or something. So maybe you might have been able to move off that money and not have to pay Trae next year.
Maybe. My guess is that he stays, or he maybe he opts out, but then re-ups
signs
on a
and
more
goes somewhere else.
Longer term. No, I think he'll stay there.
You think he's going to be in Dub?
I think it was Evan Siddery or maybe it was Brett Siegel who pointed this out. It's a fact. You've got Travis Schlenk. He is an executive now with Washington, and he was the guy that drafted Trae when he was running the Hawks. So I look at that and go, okay, that's probably the connection there. So I think for that to come together so quickly with the Wizards and for the Hawks just to be a salary dump for them, I think the Wizards are seeing Trae as a guy that can be one of their actual pieces moving forward where maybe they're going to start to add, they're tanking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to add some real players at some point. I think maybe they see Trae as one of those guys that they can start to build it up with.
You might be right. I
don't necessarily agree with that, but that's the way it looks
the way
to me.
they're
That's
looking.
The way And I know we touched on this, I think, when Emron was in here. There are reports that Trae Young is going to play either very little or not at all with the Wizards this year.
Yeah, sounds like according to Mr. Robbins.
So he can assist with the tanking for the rest of this year. They get a high pick, maybe a really high pick, and then he jumps on board with them next year.
Could be, maybe. Maybe have a conversation with Trae. And I'm pretty sure they've already had that conversation with Trae and his people. His agent is. If you come in here, you're not going to play J. Robs, who's one of the insiders over with the Washington Wizards, who's been there for a long time. Talked about, he let it go on one of his podcasts or one of his appearances.
Josh Robbins, right?
Yes, Josh Robbins. J. Rob. Sorry, my J. Rob. I know.
No.
He said, look. The word that I'm getting is Trae's not going to play at all. So that to me tells me we'll restart next year, probably fresh, and we definitely want that top 5, top 2, top 3, whatever they're possibly looking for a draft pick.
Yeah.
Because they're down in the dumps too.
Remember the Rockets when they finally started getting good again, and they had 2 years they were terrible. Then they added Van Vliet, and they added Dylan Brooks. Remember? I know a lot of us. I looked at it, I was like, what? But those guys helped them establish kind of a foundation, a veteran foundation, and they built from that. Yeah. So it looks to me like the Wizards, it's going to take me a while to get used to Trae Young being on the Wizards, but it looks to me like the Wizards see Trae as kind of one of the veterans that can help them get going in that direction. I'm just wondering, for all the talk of the league cracking down on tanking, I don't really care one way or the other, but is the league going to then have to investigate that and say, hey, how come he's not playing at all?
Well, he's hurt. He's been hurt. He's been banged up over the throughout the whole entire season. So maybe they just say, hey, look, he needs to get some scoping. He needs to get some cleanup, and we're just going to shut him down. So I think the precedent has already been set for Trae to miss the rest of the season. Now, albeit he has come back. He's tried to play, hasn't worked out. He had to sit out again. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know the severity of his injury.
To say, look, he would benefit from not playing the rest of the year. Okay, what do we?
Where's anybody from the pit when you need them? We can't get anybody from the pit.
Jay, the pit, the new season that starts tonight, and it's like 15 episodes, and I think it all supposedly it's one day, the whole season.
Oh, okay.
And I know this season, I don't know if I'm excited about this or not. It takes place like right around the 4th of July. Oh. So you can imagine in a hospital, in an emergency room, the things they're dealing with around the 4th of July.
Yeah, man. Where's the location of the pit being shot at?
Pittsburgh.
Ah, that's why it's called the pit? Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So that's going to, not always for the squeamish.
Sure. I'll let you and Mrs. Gleason do the watching for me, and then I'll take the shorthand and the reviews from you.
Thursday's ice cream night.
Sure.
Thursday is the pit night, but you don't always want to be eating ice cream when you're watching the pit.
The combination doesn't always fit.
Not always. Not always, not necessarily.
But I must say, I think I'm always more excited to know what ice cream flavor Mrs. Gleason has blessed you upon Thursday nights than you are.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know. I'm going to wait and see. I don't want to start, thinking maybe it's this or that. Maybe it is chocolate chip cookie dough. That would be tremendous, but I don't know.
Does she surprise you sometimes? Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she'll play it coy, like not say anything, like Thursday? Well, what's that? And then, here comes ice cream. By the way, we've talked a lot about Keon Ellis, of course. Pardon me for not mentioning, Jay. Today's Keon Ellis' birthday.
Yeah.
26 today.
Doesn't fit the timeline, Whitey.
Happy birthday. You're now too old for us. Been there.
We have laws that are against this, that help assist you with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Keon Ellis, man. It is a blessing anytime that you can celebrate a birthday with your loved ones, your family, your friends. And so much success and great health to Keon, man. And hopefully you enjoy your day, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, if we're asking a lot of our analysts around here in the kingdom, Sacramento, people keep telling me you don't fit the timeline.
Yeah, I've
You're
had
aging
a
out.
giant blind spot when it comes to what I think is the reality of Keon and the current situation. Because to me, I just look at Keon as a guy that fits so well what the Kings want to end up doing. And I know I've had, like Matt George, who is going to be joining the station.
Who?
You've heard about Matt George.
Oh, okay.
I think George Matt.
Somebody.
George Matt. It's Matt George.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he's going to be joining the station Monday again. He was here before, right?
Yes, he was.
I wasn't here then.
No, you weren't. You were here prior to him.
I was here
and
before
then you
him.
left, and then he came, and then he
Right.
left, and you came, and
So
now both of you guys are
we
here.
can coexist. I think a lot of people say, I don't think those two people can coexist.
Well, we'll
at the
see.
station.
We'll see. You know, it could be a
Yeah.
could be a battle, or it could be a match made in heaven.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. But you remember he and I and you, we did the show at was Thunder Valley, right?
Hard Rock.
Yeah, Hard Rock. Hard Rock. Yes, it was Hard Rock. And I remember we were talking about Keon, and he was saying, look, they're not playing him. And how do you think he's going to feel about that? Then he's going to be a free agent, and why would he want to stay there? And my feeling, again, I have this blind spot, is like, no, they just love him so much that they're trying to play the other guys, and they're going to keep him. And now, the more you think about it, and the more I listen to people that know what's going on, I'm not so sure. And Sam Amick today on the morning show was saying, why would he re-sign? The Kings may have to overpay to keep him here. Would they do that? So again, if that's the case and the Kings recognize that, then they're going to have to trade him. You have to get something for him. Maybe he becomes, again, that sweetener in one of the deals that helps you get, Kuminga.
First-round draft pick or something.
Yeah. It makes me sad to think about that. I understand it. I'm not saying, the Kings are blowing it, but thinking of Keon, he was nothing,
Yep.
right? His two-way player, G League player, and then he became a good, dependable NBA player, and to think that he would have to go, I get it. Just makes me a little sad, that's all.
Understandable.
We'll see.
Built him up from the farm.
Yeah.
They like to say in baseball, right? Farm system worked his way through. I'm with you. I always felt that Keon had an opportunity to be a starter for the Sacramento Kings. And I know that's kind of like the what's the word I'm looking for? That's kind of like the measuring stick for a lot of people. Can you work your way up to being a starter? To me, that legitimizes who you are as an NBA player. And then you have some players like, he's a good rotational piece. And that's the way kind of the league sees him at this point after so many years. And I've always found it very interesting that there is a dynamic discussion about Keon. The conversation always is about, well, is he a starter? Is he a rotational piece? And then as of late, it feels like people are like, well, can he even get on the floor? And I know a lot of that has to do with the Sacramento Kings and the coaching staff and the organization and how they're going about their business. But I find it very interesting because I think in looking at the landscape of the league, he should be someone that could possibly get you a rotational piece back that you could utilize. Now, if we're talking about a first-round draft pick, I'm just going to go out on the fence, and I all love the Keon Ellis. Truly. If you are able to bring back anything that is in the top 30 for Keon Ellis, sign me up.
I agree.
But I guess the conundrum I'm having, Whitey, is does that make me a bad Kings fan? Because
No.
Because this is, and Emran brought up a great point. He is someone that has built his way through the farm system, through the G League of the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
And he is one of ours. He's one of our guys. But I've also argued I don't want to be the person that, as a lot of Kings fans are, who overvalue our great people, are great players, people who, don the jersey of the Sacramento Kings, because a first-round draft pick is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
If you can get it. If you can get
haul.
it.
Yeah. To start with, again, managing your assets, and I know it was Monty, but if you could go from a guy you sign, he's not drafted, and you convert that to a first-round pick, that's a win.
Yeah,
that's great
definitely.
asset management. I'm going to make a baseball analogy. I hope it doesn't fall flat here. But given what Keon is and what he can do, this team's not that good and probably won't be for a while. I don't know how much he helps you. It doesn't help you as much as he would a team that's further along. For example, in baseball, let's say I got a baseball team, and I'm not very good, but I've got like some middle relievers that are really good, Jay. I mean, like really good.
Yep.
They don't really help me that much. Middle relievers help me stay in games, and they help me when protect leads. And if I'm not very good, it's like there's just nothing for them to really do. I'm better off moving those guys. They can go to a better team where they can actually help, and then I get something back that's going to help me more big picture. Keon may be kind of like that right now.
That's a great metaphor, Whitey.
I think that might be what it is. And
that's
nothing against Keon. It's like what he brings you is something that it's just not going to help me for a few years because I'm not going to be that good.
Especially on the defensive side right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A rotational 3-and-D guy off the bench.
Yeah. Man, that's a great point, Whitey. It's a great metaphor, man. Did you just think of that right now, or did you put that together on paper over there?
Matt George told me. No, I'm just
kidding. I'm definitely. That's terrible.
I've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that for a while.
No, that's a great metaphor because that is very true. A lot of times baseball teams trade for middle relievers when they feel they're about 1-2 pieces away from competing for a championship to make the playoffs or a push, making a push.
You can get a lot for them, too.
Yes, no doubt, especially if they're quality.
That's like close.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely for quality. So I like that. I like that metaphor a lot. And that's why I said, I've been kidding today about him not fitting the timeline. Of course, now today is his birthday. So, again, happy birthday to Keon. But that's a great metaphor because he does great things, and he's especially on the defensive side. For me, he's a great team defender, and he's in passing lanes, and he hits the spot up three a lot higher than I think a lot of people pay attention to. Right?
Very high.
And so he has a lot of traits and a lot of qualities that fit Denver, that fits OKC, that fits Detroit, that fits the Knicks. Hence why we've heard, James Buddha Edwards talking about it today, who covers the Knicks for The Athletic. Those type of teams, the Lakers, I hate to say that, but he fits those people's timeline, and he really fits their structure a lot better than the Sacramento Kings. And that's why I say, if I'm the Kings, I'm trying to strain, and I'm gonna drain the juice out of what I possibly can get from Keon. And hopefully, and I may be wishing upon a star, hopefully that's a first-round draft pick. I don't personally think he's going to fetch that. But I would love to see a young rotational piece, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, that fits the timeline.
Yeah.
And moving forward has some room to stretch their legs, to grow, who's under control for probably 2 more years with the player option. We might be talking about somebody that's on a rookie deal, but I'm looking for that type of person. And then maybe when this team is ready to go, they've blossomed as a 26, 27-year-old, and we got 3 years as a rotational piece out of that person.
I agree with all that, Jay, and I think also it has to do with the ceiling. And I think Keon, maybe as fans around here, we're guilty of this, and all fans in all home cities are. I think a lot of people still see Keon as a guy that, man, he could be a superstar someday. I don't know. I think the Kings look at it as we pretty much know what he is now. And he's good, but that's what he is. And it's a good thing. But what he is, it's not going to help us that much over the next 2 years. And if we can spin that off for something that, as you say, somebody that maybe hasn't done as much but has a higher ceiling, it's probably worth it to take that gamble. And that, by the way, this may be an obvious point. I think that's how we know that some of the things we're hearing about what the Kings could get for Keon, they're coming from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
They're not coming from, because when you're about Dalton Connect in a second rounder, it's like, no, I don't think the Kings would do that. Or Gershon Yabusele, the Kings wouldn't be interested in that.
No.
But, teams are like, hey, maybe we can get him for cheap. So I really think that's where it may be with Keon, and I think there's a really good chance he's going to be gone. I don't want him to be gone, but I'm coming to terms with it, Jay.
Well, he for me, he's either going to be one of the sweeteners to a deal to unload a mega contract that the Sacramento Kings have, or he's going to be, and this is the toughest part I think a lot of fans are looking towards, is he's going to be a key figure in understanding what the Kings do moving forward. Because the trade deadline's February 5th. He's up for some negotiation on February 9th. Well, those timelines don't match. And so we're going to find out one way or another with Keon is he's gone, he's out of here, or, and I don't know how this is going to really play out, because we saw how fans reacted when Keon wasn't re-signed, over the summer, or his option wasn't picked up, I should say properly. And if the Kings don't negotiate with him and they let him walk, boy, I'm telling you, it's going to be, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
And so he is a telltale sign for me as an onlooker to see what the Kings' direction is going to be. February 5th is 4 days before the 9th. Mm-hmm. What you going to do, Kings? Now, you may not be able to get something back that you want. So what does that mean? You're probably going to have to negotiate with them. And as you stated, that started this whole conversation, Sam Amick today said, if you're Keon, why are you even re-signing?
Right.
Why are you in good faith negotiating with the Sacramento Kings?
When there is so much interest.
Yep.
Right now, the Kings, as far as we know, are working on at least 3 different things, probably a lot more than that. They would love to get a first-round pick for Keon Ellis. They would love to get something of value, especially a 2031 first-round pick from the Bucks for Zach LaVine. They would love to be able to send Malik and some combination of things out, maybe involve a third team, and get Jonathan Kuminga back. We know all that. But I think, Jay, to your point, as it gets closer and closer to the deadline, you may have to combine some of those things. So, for example, in order to get Kuminga, we may have to take Keon. We're not getting a first just for him. Maybe they will, but if they don't, all right, then we're going to have to use that to help us facilitate bringing in Kuminga.
Right.
As they get closer, they may have to combine some of those.
I'm good with that if you can get the person that you want.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily have to agree with that person, but for me, I'd like to see some action. So if you truly believe us, and I'm on the board with you now when it comes to Kuminga, I don't really know on which side of the fence I fall on Kuminga yet as far as being the future of a franchise and how good he's going to be. And I'll take any argument from anybody that wants to try to detour me to either side of the conversation. But I am interested is if he comes here, how it plays out. And if nothing else, it would make it exciting, a whole heck of a lot more exciting than what we're watching right now.
Yep.
Because we truly would get to see what Kuminga is really about. And if he falls flat, then he does. If he becomes a superstar, then come on now, let's clap it up. But we would get to see it play out. I truly don't think we're going to see that man's talents play out in Golden State at the dentist's office. So I'm, as a basketball fan, I'd be interested in that. I truly would be.
We haven't had season tickets, Jay, since 2009.
Spending all that money on ice cream.
Yeah, but if Kuminga were to come here,
what?
Mrs. Gleason is a big Kuminga fan.
Ooh.
May have to call our representative.
Is he still with the squad? I like that.
Let's talk about some packages here.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have your eye on a certain particular angle?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I don't know that I have. We were at the game on New Year's Day watching the Celtics, and I turned to Sheena and I said, I don't know if I've ever sat upstairs. And, of course, she goes, you have. We went to 2 concerts up there. I was like, oh, yeah, I have. But I don't think I've ever been up there for a basketball game. But
I know I haven't. I haven't been up there for anything. I'll say this. This is the strangest thing, and I had thought about this in the beginning of the season. You can knock me all you want. I've only been to 2 games this season, opening day against Utah and another game, which the first week or so. But I've always sat in the 101 to like middle, about 118, 119. I've never sat on the opposite floor from where the team and the media sits during a game unless it's been on the floor. So I've never been in, AAA through whatever the heck it is at the back, top. I'm not exact QRST. I don't know what's up there. But I've never sat on that side for a game. I don't know why that's never happened. I've always been from basically hoop to hoop.
Yeah.
On the 100 sides. Or it's all 100, but the lower number 100
It's kind of a low-level flex right there.
No, I didn't want it to be like that.
I know, but you can't help it.
Well, that's why I ask you, have you got your angle together?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, because for me, it would be foreign to be on the 120, 130, 132, 131.
Look at Jay.
I've never been on that. Come on, man. It's the same. If I'm at 108 and I'm in the middle and I'm on 127, I guess it would be the same.
Yeah.
Just saying it would be foreign to me. Kind of like you not having Popeyes real fast, because there's a lot of people that are chiming in.
I'm not proud of it, but it's true.
No, come on, man. Justin, regarding chicken, Popeyes is great, but I don't know. I'm not down with the chicken and waffles, Whitey. I've had it a couple times. It's not for me. 530, me either, Whitey. I've never had Popeyes. 707, the seed of all knowledge. The better question, Popeyes or Churches? As Ramsey asked me behind here. Have you had Churches?
Churches, I think we've had Churches in Vallejo for a long time.
Yeah, it's
but
there
I
for a
don't
long
think I
time,
ever
right?
went
The Broadway
there.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You never been to Churches either?
Nope. Nope.
KFC, man, they need to. Somebody from over from the Colonel need to call us and give you a deal.
I got an exclusive with the Colonel. I can't help it. A non-compete.
Oh, man. Somebody, who is this? No name, 916. You guys could have a new segment on the show called The Drive Guys, Diners, and Dives.
Yeah. What's his name? Guy Fieri we'd probably have to change the name of it. But sure, we could do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What in the hell? Whitey from Banter the Young? You've never been to Popeyes?
I've not.
Logical Raptors fanatic, and I'm glad he said this. The end of this month, I'm going to Vancouver, Canada, celebrate my wife's 40th birthday.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Put a little passport stamp together, right?
Yeah.
Logical Raptors fanatic says Canadian Popeyes is crazy bomb. Monster chicken pieces.
Really?
Yeah. Peep this. When I was in 8th grade, my grandmother wanted to go to Edmonton, Canada, so we went up there for vacation. I remember going through KFC's line. Grandmother loved KFC, talking about what, late 90s, mid 90s or whatever, and going through white meat, breast and wing. She goes through and is like, hey, would like a breast and wing, 2-piece biscuit, and all the jazz. And they're like, you want what? Like, I love, wing and breast. And they're like, we have a wing and a keel. A wing and a keel.
What?
That's what they kept saying. And so my grandmother, at the time, she's probably 50. She's like, no, that's not what I'm asking for. They commenced to go back and forth for literally 2 or 3 minutes in the drive-thru. She's like, all right, forget this. We pull over. She walks in, go in, and she's like, hey, I've been asking for a piece of breast meat. White meat, big, that type. And they're like, oh, yeah, we call that a keel up here at the time. So I'm going to be super interested to see, have they advanced their vernacular in Canada?
I hope so.
Or, because I have no clue. So Logical Raptors fan, you could tell me about that. Amadrock, we have Churches and Pioneer in Vallejo growing up. Understandable. There's one Pioneer still left, to the best of my knowledge. It's on South Soto in Los Angeles.
Really?
If you have an opportunity. The original owners of Pioneer kept this Pioneer location. I'm not sure if it's the first one or not, but they kept this location, passed it to their kids. Their kids still own it, and they will not get rid of it. I actually interviewed them years ago at another network. Absolutely. It's true. Check it out. Somebody, who is this? B. Dietz. Oh, no. Let's see. Where's the Popeyes one? One is, they're attacking you, Whitey. And I got to stand up for you, brother, on one of these things.
You got to stand up for me, but you got to read it, too.
I got to find it. It'll kick me all the way to the bottom. We'll bounce back. But so many people are talking about the fact that you've never had Popeye, Peg Junk, Whitey, dog, diversify your taste buds.
I'm working on it.
Come on, man.
I'm working on it.
What are we doing here, brother?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're going to come back with why there isn't more interest in DeMar DeRozan and more on the Whitey Gleason Popeye scandal next on Sactown Sports.
This is the Drive Guys.
January 12th.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
This is the Drive Guys.
Weekday afternoons 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports 1140.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So, how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction. Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, January 10th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
600.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-691-9999. That's 800-691-9999.
Always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
The keel of a chicken, Jay, is actually a bony structure.
Really?
Yeah. The breast muscle is large muscular mass. The keel is a flat bony structure at the center of the chicken's chest. So it sounds to me like maybe the Canadians, they feel like, breast is not a polite thing to say or something, or at least wasn't back then. So they talked about the meat from the bone underneath it. I don't know.
That boy. Mm-hmm. Wish we had Google at that point in time.
The keel bone is the sternum. So, right there on
the sternum of the chicken, yes.
Sternum of the chicken.
Well, that's why they call it a keel.
Yeah.
Wow. I never took the time to look that up. Thank you, Whitey.
I never knew it. Thank you. I never knew that. You said, I'll have a keel. Yeah, my wing and a keel.
My grandmother was...
wing and a keel are hilarious.
She was frustrated, to say the least. Mm-hmm. No, I want a breast. Like, a keel? To the point to where...
They say, hey, you want a keel, eh?
Yeah. Jumped out of the car and was like, let's go. Let's get in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my grandmother is super patient. One of the most patient people you'd ever meet. Mm-hmm. Crazy take by Matt. And I saw Amadrock say this. Jollibee is better than KFC, Popeyes, and Church's. Have you been to Jollibee?
No, Jollibee didn't that start in the Philippines, I think?
Yes.
And
I don't know where it started, but I believe it is based upon Filipino cuisine chicken. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a monumentally successful fast food in the Philippines, and then it spread. And I want to say I heard one was coming here, but I don't know if I imagined.
So there's one. Well, the one I've had Jollibee in other places. I've tried it here in Sacramento. It's one on Mac Road. That's the one I've tried.
Okay.
Yeah, the old Target parking lot used from the old Kmart, all that good jazz over there, like Center Parkway.
Okay.
And Mac Road. I've seen.
So there is
one
here
more.
already.
Yeah, there's a few here, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen, but I know of the one right there off the top of my head. Google the other location.
Well, what do you think of that? Jollibee fried chicken is better than Popeyes.
No, I'm more a Popeye guy.
Okay.
I'm more of a crispy outy, skin for me, and I like. I prefer the spices of Popeyes over Jollibee.
And what do you think of the texter who suggested that fried chicken and waffles ain't it?
To each their own, because he's crazy.
Yes,
Justin,
even I know that. Riverside Clubhouse, fried chicken and waffles. Like, why have I never eaten this? This is the greatest thing.
The toughest thing is to look at a plate especially in the morning, and say, man, fried chicken? Yes. When your mind has kind of been, conditioned to say, probably not. But as you said, when you actually put them together and you dump it and, you just dress it down with some syrup and, oh, come on, man. You can't get no better.
I had that barrier, Jay. I was like, fried chicken? No, for breakfast. But that one day we were there, I was just so hungry. And it just sounded like, oh, that's definitely what I want. And it was better than I expected.
Come on now. You figured out what you were missing, and now we just got to, we got to get you right on that side.
The Lakers have some things that they are missing, but Jake Fisher appeared on a live stream a couple days ago. He says the Lakers are not expected to make a splashy move. I don't know. Would the Lakers making a move for Keon Ellis be splashy? Probably not. Maybe they would pursue that. But that Dalton Connect thing, Jay, I just don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think he's the type of player who fits what Scott Perry says he's trying to build here.
Yeah, I'm with you. As much as I like Dalton Connect, I don't really see what Scott has been talking about, what he's been preaching and Coach Christie's been preaching. The Dalton Connect doesn't fit that model. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you. Even though I know you aren't as high as he on Dalton as me and Drapes were, he's a shooter, which is something that I know you love. Yes. You love shooting.
You need shooting. Yeah. By the way, Trae Young getting traded, and that was from that from the Kings standpoint, that infamous draft, the Luka draft. The first pick in that draft, of course, was DeAndre Ayton. And Jake Fisher mentioned that the Lakers do not see DeAndre Ayton as their long-term center. They will wait till the offseason to make a serious upgrade. DeAndre Ayton has not been the difference maker that the Lakers need at center, and DeAndre only made things worse recently by suggesting he deserves more touches on a team with Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves and DeAndre Ayton. I need more touches.
I hope DeAndre Ayton, and I mean this sincerely, I hope he doesn't play himself out of the NBA. And when I say that, I mean not so much as on the court, but who he is as a person. I think he's a pretty good ball player, depending on how you see him and how you like him. But there has been some things that we've heard through the grapevine of NBA circles with DeAndre Ayton that if I was on the outside looking in, I could say, man, I'm kind of going to steer away completely from him. His mentality, his attitude. We've heard some things in Portland and even in Arizona. So I just hope the young man can continue to be able to compete in the NBA, and please just earn it and go get your money, young fella.
Our buddy Guy Haberman, he came on the show. He was filling in for Greg Papa. I remember talking to Guy Haberman. Guy Haberman actually did a lot of Kings TV work, and he also used to work for Pac-12 Network. And I remember before that draft talking to Guy Haberman about DeAndre Ayton, and he said that a coach in the conference told him DeAndre Ayton was the best center prospect out of the Pac-12 since Lou Alcindor. And that was why he was the number one pick. You look at that draft now, 2018, DeAndre Ayton won. Kings had second pick. And Luka, who's been traded, Jaren Jackson Jr. fourth, still with the same team. Trae Young. Look at very few of these guys have been with one team the whole time. Ayton drafted by the Suns, Bagley by the Kings, Luka drafted by technically the Hawks, but of course Dallas. Jaren Jackson with Memphis is one of the few high picks there who's been in one place the whole time. Trae Young traded now. Mo Bamba 6th, Wendell Carter Jr. 7th, Colin Sexton 8th, Kevin Knox 9th. We don't need to get into who the GM of the Knicks was when they made that trade. And Mikal Bridges was the 10th pick. That's your 2018 draft. Now, the Ringer today.
That's coming up short, brother.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? The Ringer looks at the most intriguing players with the trade deadline approaching. They got Trae Young in there. Of course, he's been traded. Anthony Davis, Giannis, Zion, Lauri Markkanen, Ja Morant, James Harden, Michael Porter Jr., LaMelo, and DeMar DeRozan. Isaac Levy-Rubinet says, Isaac Levy-Rubinet, my friend, says the NBA offenses are diversifying, fewer teams spamming the spread pick and roll every trip down the floor, teams with less high-end offensive talent leaning on pace, iso ball, systemized drive and kicks to play above their means. The Heat, the Trayless Hawks, Even the Magic have found success with a more zippy, egalitarian approach and could use DeRozan like the Rockets use Kevin Durant. But DeRozan continues to drain gorgeous mid-range jumpers for the Kings. The tragic irony of DeRozan's career is that he's gotten better and better, becoming a more efficient shooter, a more creative passer, as the evolution of the modern game has made him more and more archaic. He has played so well. And one thing, maybe this writer is correct, maybe DeMar's gotten a lot better. He's a way better passer than I knew. He's a terrific passer. And yet, there's no demand for him. I'm not sure why. I think some of it is because he's never wanted to come off the bench. And I think a lot of teams look at him and say, man, he can help us coming off the bench. I don't know if he'd want to do that. I don't know if he could do that.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. It reminds me somewhat of this. Remember Allen Iverson and the Nuggets? And this was one of the detriments to AI as an AI fan that I always felt. You could have secured your legacy, and he's got a tremendous legacy, but just a little bit more. As they asked him to come off the pine, he was like, I'm not feeling this. I'm Allen Iverson. And I can't remember the conversation or who brought it up maybe it was Draper a couple days ago talking about AI.
It was.
Yeah, and understanding that. And that was part of AI's, I don't want to say issue, but I guess his road to being out of the NBA is you might have to cross over and play off the bench. And you'll be fantastic. You'll be firepower. You'll be microwavable. But that was something that, from all accounts, he didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel that's kind of the way I feel we're kind of going towards with DeMar.
Maybe. I don't know for a fact that he has let anyone know that he wouldn't come off the bench. I don't know.
Me too. I don't know.
But it is kind of a head-scratcher when you look at, wow, this guy's really producing and he's available, and he's not making that much money, and it doesn't appear that anyone really wants him. So just trying to figure out exactly why.
But let me also say this, and I know Jerry Reynolds is coming on. I'm pretty sure he might be listening.
Baby. Yeah.
This is the other part. Just because basketball is going a certain way, the style of play, a lot of people I've been seeing, I didn't even think Alan Stiles said this, and we can jack him up next week about it, is nobody over 6'2" will ever get $40 million a year or more. We know this league is looking for athletic, tall shooters. And we've been out, every team in the league has been clamoring for 3 guys in the last 10 years or so. That's absolutely the way, because you have to reinvent yourself and you have to keep up with the times. But sometimes, and this I'm going to ask Jerry this, sometimes as a general manager, sometimes as a talent onlooker, sometimes as a scout, you gotta put your feelings and thoughts and emotions aside and say, this dude is just a baller. He is good. And what he does, there's great things that we can get out of the product that he's putting forth for a basketball team. And yeah, he may not match the look, the boy band. It's the repeat. Everybody's got to look the same, feel the same. But we can get something out of him. And I truly believe DeMar, not only lately, I truly believe DeMar's whole career has been that way. He doesn't fit the model of what everybody wants to do, but dude's a Hall of Famer. Something doesn't give. I don't know what that is. I've never been a general manager. I've never been an assistant general manager, and I've never been in that position. But to me, you can see this dude is the truth on the floor. I don't know why you can't see that he can't help you if you're a team in need. That's just me. I don't know, Whitey. I don't know.
Jerry Reynolds, top of the hour. We'll come back with more on why there isn't more outside interest in DeMar DeRozan when he's having a heck of a year with the Drive Guys. Rolling on next, Sactown Sports.
This is the Drive Guys.
January 12th.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
This is the Drive Guys.
Weekday afternoons 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Weekend escape to bucket list adventure. Plan your trip at the Sportsman's Expo. This is the region's greatest selection of outdoor travel. California, the West, Alaska to Mexico, Canada to South Africa. Outfitters, guides, lodges, and destinations. Your chance to meet the experts who'll make your trip unforgettable. California's largest sportsman's travel event is back, January 15th through 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Details at sportsexpos.com.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction. Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, January 10th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
With the trade deadline rapidly approaching, we're trying to figure out why there isn't more interest in DeMar DeRozan from other teams. By the way, Jerry Reynolds going to join us top of the hour. Jerry Reynolds, he had said that he thought the Kings should look at DeMar DeRozan long before that ever actually happened, by the way. So see what Jerry thinks of all that. And I know that's something that Sam Amick was talking about today. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. And I mentioned that is why it is that there isn't more interest in DeMar DeRozan from other teams. The Ringer today has a list of the most intriguing players at the deadline, and they list DeMar as one of those players. Could the latest trends in the league have opened the door for the 36-year-old DeRozan to have a meaningful final act should some forward-thinking team send a rescue mission to Sacramento, asks Isaac Levy-Rubinet, who says some of these teams could use DeMar coming off the bench as a kind of a closer. Because we know that's what he can do. Wouldn't be the most glamorous work, but after toiling for years in the quicksand that is the Bulls and the Kings, DeRozan deserves a team that needs what he can provide. Certainly agree with that.
Yep.
He deserves better than he's getting here. But we don't know. We're speculating. Maybe part of it is he has never expressed a willingness to come off the bench. I don't know. We're getting into dangerous territory there because we can't make assumptions. It's just for a guy who's that productive and that good of a teammate, and given what he makes, it's just surprising that the Kings don't every day have teams going, hey, let's work something out for DeMar DeRozan here.
Copycat league, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Copycat league. That's what I said. It actually is a great question to ask the legend Jerry Reynolds himself. This dude's a Hall of Famer.
I'll tell you a big part of it, and you made the point in a roundabout way. You talked about accurately how everybody wants 3-and-D. DeMar DeRozan's having his best three-point shooting year, I think, ever. But he's not 3-and-D.
No.
He's not a very good defender.
Yeah.
And his three-point shot this year, like I said, this year he's shooting it very well, but that's never been his forte. So he is, in many ways, even though he's very productive, the opposite of what is in vogue in the NBA now. Like you said, everybody wants 3-and-D.
Yep.
He ain't 3-and-D.
No, he's far from that. He's a scorer. He's definitely one of the guys that's going to put the ball in the hoop.
But he's very efficient, and I would think the analytics would just love a guy like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of it's one of the things that I've consistently talked about throughout DeMar's career, not just here, just since he's been in the league. I'm a huge fan of DeMar. Just so happened to come around and play for the Sacramento Kings, but if we were creating a list, and I'm just speaking in my lifetime, he would be probably, without looking at a list and compiling it, he might be a top 10 most disrespected Hall of Famer ever. He, for whatever reason, he just hadn't got his just due in a lot of ways.
Would you consider Trae Young for that list as well?
No,
maybe?
Because it's not over yet.
Okay.
It's not over yet.
Yeah.
But I think DeMar is, because he's close to being done, I'd have him on that list for sure. I truly believe NBA circles have looked upon DeMar as a star, never really a superstar, and that's okay. But I also don't think he's ever gotten his just due of how good he really is. Truly. When you're talking about offensively, he's one of the best to put it in the hoop, my brother, especially from the middle range. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He is just, it's one, like Coach Christie always joked with me all the time, and he always said it a few times here is his mother had him in the wrong time, the wrong period. If he was playing now, it'd probably make $80 to $100 million. Versus then, made a good living, but it wasn't $80 to $100 million worth. And so that's where I'm at with DeMar. It's just kind of wrong period, wrong time for DeMar, because you're talking about you got to have a four that could shoot a three-pointer. It's like that ain't never happened ever, for the most part. And to me, you have the detractors of the game nowadays, and I don't necessarily agree with them wholeheartedly, but I also understand it's like we're going through a different way of playing basketball. And DeMar doesn't fit the way that people see basketball should be played in a lot of ways right now.
Here's another one in which I don't think he's an ideal fit for the direction in which the game is currently headed. We know that for years. I know when Vivek Ranadive bought the team, if I remember correctly, in his interviews, he talked a lot about positionless basketball, which has been very popular, it's not really so much positionless. I think it's a little bit of a misnomer. It's really a guy who can play more than one position. And DeMar is he's not. Some guys that are positionless, he can be a 2, he can be a 3, he can be a 4. And DeMar is more like, well, he's not quite anything. He's not a point guard. Yeah. He's as a 2 guard, he's not really. As a 3, well, he could play there, but there's defensive issues. He can play 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like a reverse positionless player. He doesn't really fit any position.
In the eyes of the beholders of basketball now. And that's what you're saying. Where
I think we've seen that here.
Yes.
Is he a 3?
Yes.
Kinda. Is he a 2?
Yep.
Does he play 4? Kind of.
Which in a weird way, a roundabout way, is kind of makes him positionless because
No, you're right. I mean, literally.
But no, you're right in what you're saying. It truly is. You're right. He doesn't really fit the category of any position. And that's why I say in a weird way, he's kind of like fits the way basketball operates.
Yeah.
It's the tweener. He's a tweener, for a lack of a better word for many people. He's not a 3, he's not a 2, and it's not so much of his size. He just doesn't, for the way people see positions, if you want to be a 2, you got to be able to hit 40% 3. That's the barometer. We'll go around and look and see how many people really shoot that. No one. Very, very little shoots that. And that's why I say is, you have some people who watch basketball, and a lot of this, I guess what I'm saying is the some people are the people who's in the front offices. The some people are the some of the media. The some people are people who have power. And unfortunately for DeMar, as a fan, I think he has been shorted that because the people who kind of have pull weight, make, sign contracts and deals. Not saying he ain't made no money, and he's not saying he's not been an all-star, multiple. And again, I think we all agree he's a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying in the pantheon of basketball, he kind of got caught in, you're in the positionless basketball, and we want guys to shoot 40%. Well, go point 15 dudes who shoot 40% right now.
I think there have been
guys doesn't make sense to me
that have been ahead of their time. And I think DeMar in some ways is behind his time. And to your point, he's a Hall of Famer. So we're not saying the guy's no good.
Yeah, no,
Pete
we're not
Maravich
saying that,
was ahead of his time. If
Yes.
Pete Maravich played today, he'd be an unbelievable star. The things he used to do with the 3-point line. And yeah, at the time he was a big star, but he never quite realize his potential. And so, yeah, it's funny the way the games change or the way the game is played changes, and some players just don't fit it. But I'll be very interested to see if somebody doesn't look at that and go, I think he can still help us. Another thing, if we're being honest, he hasn't been a great postseason player. Hasn't been terrible or anything.
No.
He hasn't been a great postseason player. But I don't see how that would keep a team from, like, picking him up now. I don't see how that'd be a big concern.
You know, the same thing I talk about Zach LaVine in the form of, I think he's never been with a person or a player that has kind of been non-negotiable, the star, the number one. Same thing with DeMar. I think he's truly kind of been caught in that and that's a tough place to be, but it shows how talented you are, where some people believe you can be the one, and maybe you've never lived up to that, but also you've never kind of been placed with a number one. And that's kind of how I view DeMar as well. Like, Zach is kind of in that boat. DeMar is in that boat, though I think DeMar has reached higher levels throughout the NBA, and I think he is well respected way more, for whatever reason, by NBA onlookers and fans and media and personnel than Zach LaVine has ever been treated for me in the NBA.
You mentioned onlookers, and the NBA says they've got an awful lot of onlookers this year. ESPN has had one of its most viewed starts to the regular season, according to ESPN, since it started to carry games in 2002. According to the network and rating services, ESPN averaged 2.6 million viewers in its first 21 games through Christmas, a 35% increase from last season, second most watched in a full season. The numbers for this season trail only 2010, 2011. I think to get the whole story, we'd have to dig a little deeper, and who has time for that? But we're talking total numbers. Are there more games on?
Yeah.
Is there more hours of programming on? Is that why more people are watching? But the NBA has been doing well with the new TV package. Jay brought up something on a text yesterday that I wasn't aware of. Apparently, Peacock is looking to the future, and they're talking about maybe some features where you'll be able to watch an NBA game and just turn the announcers off
and listen
still
to
hear the crowd and everything.
Yeah, you get the ambiance, the feed, and some of the player kickback. You know, the audibles from the players.
Yeah,
super interesting. And it looks like they're going to try it with football first. They're going to try to implement it during football next season. And so you'll be able – and Dolby is the company that is assisting them in this change, and you'll be able to kind of manipulate the way how you watch a game. Yeah, we're just furthering technology at this point.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm with that. It doesn't seem like you're with that.
I like it. I was just thinking last night I was trying to watch the Warriors, and I'm like, why do I have to sign in? What's my path? So
it's the mechanics for you.
They sent me an email, but and Sheena says, you're looking at the wrong email. I was like, I'm just trying to watch the game. So if I can't do that, how am I going to be able to be honest when I'm sitting there? I like that, but I don't know. How am I going to be able to figure that out?
White,
I can't even sign in.
Dog, we're going to have to reinvent some of your skills and how you go about locking into something. But it is confusing.
I just get mad because I turn the game on. Why do I have to, you're talking to the TV. Why do I have to sign in? I didn't have to sign in last time I watched. But
I get it, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
I would definitely do that for some basketball games. Football, I feel like, because there's so much going on that you can't see, I like having an announcer to point out things that, all right, I wasn't able to see that. But basketball, yeah, that would be more like you're just at the game hearing the ambient audio.
Yeah, for me, it would assist me in for people that I don't really have an affinity for. If you could get around that, I'm good with that as far as like broadcasters wise. But beyond that,
so you would call it the Reggie Miller button.
Well, I like Reg.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of the few that I can deal with Reggie. A lot of people don't. So, but yeah, Joe Buck. How about the Joe Buck?
There
button?
you go.
He's not on NBC
the
though.
Buck button.
Yeah, the Buck button. Yeah, like I'm not a fan of Joe Buck's calling. Matt, Whitey J, go to try chicken and waffles at Saram's in Elk Grove or Saram's. I never knew how to properly pronounce that. I've heard of the restaurant. I've not had the opportunity to go there. Whitey, I would imagine you have not.
Let's go.
Have you been?
No.
Okay.
But
Tony's Fried Chicken on 23rd is where it's at. Ryan Smith. I've been through there. Buy it. Have not been there. Have you been there, Whitey?
I haven't. What about Kiki's?
Kiki's is cool. I like the fries.
I see them everywhere, but I haven't been there.
It's cool. I think I've ever had I think I've had the wings. We downstairs were you here yet? It's about right around time you had not here yet, but by the time you returned, I know a few times they catered Kiki's.
Oh.
Yes, I've had it. I don't really remember their chicken like that. I enjoy their fries. They're loaded fries, though.
Okay.
I'm about that. The chicken, the buffalo sauce with the ranch. Yeah, sign me up for that.
All right.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Sign me up for this. Jerry Reynolds is going to join us next, Sactown Sports.
The Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com to join.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Last Saturday night, I'm in front of the TV, of course, listening on Sactown Sports, getting ready for the 49ers, Jay. At 5:01, I get a text, and the text read, "Go Niners."
What?
It was from our next guest.
Man, this dude is a true blessing.
It didn't work out, but I appreciated the sentiment so much. I got that text from Jerry Reynolds, who joins us now. Thanks, Coach, for that text. It didn't work out, but we appreciate it.
Well, yeah, still can, but no, now that my Chiefs have turned into dregs, I'm pulling for the Niners. Now, don't get me wrong, I won't be sending a Go Eagles to Kyle. That's not happening. But no, I like the Niners. I mean, I was gonna say I really push it. I just wish they could be full strength, but yeah, we'll see. Wish them the best.
Jerry, can I ask you, as someone that's been in the playoff, you've been blessed. You've been spoiled over the last handful of years of the Chiefs being in the playoffs and also vying for a Super Bowl, of course, which they've won a few. Is there a sense of relief? Are you enjoying the games this weekend as a fan? Or are you checked out? You going to Tahoe? What's the plans?
Really, that's an interesting question. And the truth is, my son and I talking about it, how much we're actually enjoying just watching the games.
Wow.
Where you're, when you're kind of really into it with the team, it almost takes the fun out because the thought of, the agony of defeat is worse than the thrill of victory.
Mm-hmm. How about with the Hoosiers taking on Oregon? Do you have Indiana fever for the way the football team's playing?
I do. The only reason being is that I didn't think this was possible. Mm-hmm. Indiana football, it's been probably the worst program in America of major status for the last 50, 70 years, and I just never thought that possible. So, just amazing. And that just shows you that, boy, if you live long enough, you'll see everything.
Ooh, now hold on now, because I'm hoping that sees fit for these Sacramento Kings too.
Yeah. I'm not sure I can live that long, Jay. I'm going to battle. I'm going to battle for you
Atta
guys.
Boy.
See if I can.
Jay and I had a little disagreement yesterday over the end of the Dallas game. And, to me, it kind of raised a little bit of a red flag when the Kings didn't run the play at the end of the game that Doug Christie said, well, that wasn't the play we're supposed to run. Jay points out, that thing happens and the team's not very good, so it's no big deal. Is it significant at all in your mind, Jerry, when Coach Christie calls a play and they didn't run it?
Well, in the big scope of things as far as the record and where it's going, no, it's not a big deal, except that from the coaching standpoint, yeah, it's a damn big deal. Don't ask much of you, and not getting much from you, so at least you can, try to do what I'm asking you to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I would probably, I totally agree with Coach Christie there. It's like I might have to have some words with a few folks.
I like how you're going about that. Jerry, real fast, when it comes to just the overall state right now, and I know the wins, the losses, the mechanics, a lot of things aren't very pleasant in your eyes, but just someone who's been around basketball all your life, how are you seeing this team right now, just overall, even the organization?
Well, I think it's certainly a work in progress, and there's not a lot of positive things you can say now. The record speaks for itself, but you're, as a fan, which is what I am, you're hoping for some moves that kind of crystallize or clarify where this thing could go or might go, and not just waiting around for a draft pick. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm still – I think the team is in a state of flux, and Jerry Reynolds is in a state of flux. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were about the Dallas game, and I said, the only thing that struck me about the game, there's two teams not very good and slopping the ball all over the floor. Nobody could catch it or pass it. But, the thing that struck me, Dallas's best player – was 19 years old,
yeah,
and the Kings' best player was 37,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think that's a very encouraging fact, but I think it's a fact.
Yeah, we were just talking about DeMar DeRozan, and he's having a really productive year. He's efficient offensively. He's sharing the ball. His assist numbers are good. There doesn't seem to be much demand for him, even though he's not making that much money. Is it because of the game is more 3-and-D and he's not that? Is he too much mid-range? Is he just too old? Are you surprised here that there's just not much interest in him, even though he's productive?
I am really surprised, to be honest with you. If I was the Houston Rockets, I would be on the phone with Scott Perry. Mm-hmm. They don't have enough shooting and scoring. And he'd be off. Now, he'd have to adjust to a different role.
Yeah.
And the second part of it is they got a bunch of defenders. So they could kind of cover for him a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think he would, when you look at the West, they're not good enough the way they are. Mm-hmm. They need more offense. They've got the defense that they need and probably size and all that. So they could really, they could use a guy to go get them a bucket late in the games.
And he does that.
And he sure does that. And like I say, I think just in fairness, and he's become a pretty darn good three-point shooter. People kind of keep forgetting that, but he's about 36% now. And, I think, I heard you guys talk a little bit about it. And, the game today doesn't fit him as well, as it would have in years past. I know Jay and we were talking about, a guy like Alex English years ago, how terrific he was. Well, part of it was, DeRozan's a little bit like that, except that he doesn't get, with Alex, he fit on a team that really was all about scoring.
Yeah.
All about scoring. And that's kind of, he was a highly productive offensive player, and really that's what DeMar's been his whole career. It just probably a little too much dribble-centric, one-on-one centric, but anyway, I just think he could be in the right spot, could really help a really good team.
Legend one, joined by legendary Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, when it comes to Keon and, we've been hell-bent on the age of 25 here on the Drive Guys this week about does it fit the time frame of the future of the Sacramento Kings. And, of course, happy birthday again to Keon Ellis, celebrating his 26th birthday today. In your mind, how close is he to fitting this timeline? And, someone who's been in the chair, do you even really care? Are you really paying that much attention to a 26-year-old and saying, look, he's great, he's good at what he does, and I want good ball players versus I know he's good and maybe a year or two away from where we need him to be?
Well, that's a great about that too. To me, anybody that's 25, 26, they should be in your timeline. What do you got planned the next 5-6 years? A guy like him, he's going to play in the league productively till he's 32. So that's, and by that time, obviously you'd like to be really good, but then that doesn't mean you couldn't trade him when he's 30 for somebody a little younger. The point is, he's a good player. It does things that you kind of need. It may be a different role as you get better, but I think that's a mistake to think everybody's got to be 23, because some of them at 23, when they're 26 or 7, you think, boy, they're not very good.
Yeah, I've just been assuming all along, Coach, that the Kings would keep him because he is such a good fit for what they're doing. But obviously, if they have any inkling that he's not going to want to stay, he's not going to want to re-up with them, then maybe you would have to trade him. I hope they don't, but maybe you'd have to. My question would be, and I understand their thinking, do you think there's a chance they'd get a first-rounder for him? I love him, but I don't think they'll get a first for him.
I doubt it because he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
Contractually, I think if he were under, his contract at the rate that he's got now, if it was another 2 years, I think you could get a first round and, a protected one later. I think there's teams that have enough interest in what he does that here again, he's a guy that would, in all honesty, fit on a better team better even. And so, I think that's the issue. I don't know what's being said behind the scenes, but, it's a case where it may be that he and his agent or his agent and him just can see the handwriting on the wall. We need to be somewhere else.
Legend. I'm sorry.
And so that would maybe enter into it. I guess the one big concern I've got, I wish maybe you guys would know more about it, but Malik Monk, did he piss off somebody? Did he steal something in the locker room or something? Or
take an extra pair of sweats, Jerry.
Took too many sweat socks from somebody. My gosh, that guy's been a good player here, and he's young, and he can fit any timeline unless you think you need 10 years. And I guarantee if the timeline's 10 years, they're going to be playing in front of a lot of empty seats.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of
clue.
when that happens is, hey, maybe they're close to a deal, and so they don't want to risk blowing up the deal by getting them hurt. But I don't know what it is, Jerry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get that too, and I thought the same thing, and because I do think with Malik, he's a guy with a contract and his talent, and all. I would say probably he might have the most interest if, in fact, you decide you need to move somebody. He's probably the easiest to do that because of his age, talent, and contract.
Kicking back over to Keon, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, Jerry, but I know you can handle it. You're a big boy. You got your big boy pants on.
I'm big boy.
Yeah. When it comes to Keon, and a lot of people were fairly surprised that the option wasn't picked up, and February 5th trade deadline, February 9th you can negotiate with Keon, extension eligible. What at this very moment, January 8th, did the Kings botch it, or is it still kind of TBD? What's your take on that?
Well, I think it's I think it's to be determined, but short of something really changing, like say in a month, then yes, you'd have to say they botched it. If they lose him for nothing, that would be because he's really an asset talent wise, and I think the league sees it that way. So does he have value to the Kings? Of course he does, or he should, because he has value to the league, and so. Like I say, one of the key things about building a team is to be able to keep your free agents and get somebody else's. And so I'd be very concerned where they are now. I mean, I think probably they felt that they would be in good position to get him a re-up, but maybe that's not the case now. I hope for their case they, maybe have had reason to believe that will happen, but certainly, losing an asset for nothing is not a good move.
No, the OKC Thunder, they never do that. They maximize those assets.
Yeah, I mean everybody, probably every team in the league has made mistakes along those lines once in a while, but it's not like the Kings have a lot of assets that other people want. I guess that's what I would say. And just from afar, I'd say, okay, knowing the league and knowing what, you'd like to make moves. Well, it's easier to make moves with guys who other teams want.
Yeah.
And I know that's a little strange, but.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about something that, Jay, the GM over there, he's scouring the rosters, and he's got a player he's just keeping an eye on. I'm not sure how Jay feels about this guy, but, we're looking for younger players that might fit what the Kings are trying to do and might be available. And one of the players Jay has been looking at is Rob Dillingham. What do you think of Rob Dillingham potentially as somebody that might have something to offer the Kings if they were able to acquire him?
I liked him a lot better when he was in college than when he's been in the NBA. Put it that way. Yeah. Here's my question that I'd ask Jay or anyone is that Minnesota traded up to get him and gave up things to get him. Why? Well, because they know Mike Conley's near the end or at the end, really, and so they really wanted somebody to step in there. Well, he hadn't been able to do it, and so they're considering moving him, and so that'd be my first concern. It's like, wait a minute, this is a team that not only drafted him in the lottery, moved up to make sure they could get him, gave up things to move up there to replace a guy that needs replaced.
Yeah,
and they've decided he ain't the guy. Now they could be wrong, and for the right price, I would still have some interest. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be a low price. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I definitely understand it. Joined by Jerry Reynolds. Legend, as we look at the way the Kings are operating, and I'm pretty sure because you do a great job of keeping an eye on what's going on with this team, what's your thoughts on Scott Perry just being way more accessible than it feels like his predecessor, Monty McNair, as far as offering, his thoughts and his opinions on where this organization is and where their future is heading? Well,
I think it's good. I mean, I think Scott's very good in front of camera and talking to people. I mean, he's a good basketball man. He's had a lot of different roles, and I think it's really important. I'd probably, if you ask my advice, I would probably say, maybe even be a little more clear in exactly what you hope to do. I'm not saying you can say I'm going to trade this guy or that guy, but I mean, I think as a fan, you're wanting to say, are we tanking? Are we really going to try to move guys? Things like that, or kind of get a little more clarity to it. But all in all, I mean, I don't know what more he could do. I would say with Vlade, bless his heart, he was out there way too much. It's like sometimes you kind of need to lay low.
Yeah.
And with Monty, that's all he did was lay low. And so I think Scott's kind of got the middle ground. I think he's about as good as you can do it, in my opinion. So it's just a matter of hopefully there's good things to report as the season goes on.
Yeah. We talked so much with you, Jerry Reynolds joining us, about potential trades. Let's talk about one that actually happened. And I know that you are pretty well connected with the Atlanta Hawks organization. Well, you're well connected with a lot of organizations. What did you make about the Trae Young deal? Trae Young to the Wizards. Did anything about that surprise you?
No, not really. I kind of think it's a pretty good move for both teams. I mean, obviously, Atlanta was the point where they wanted to go a different direction, and I think they got a couple. C.J. McCollum can still play, and good player, good teammate. He'll be a fit in, and then Kispert will give him a nice guy off the bench who can make shots. So I think this probably helps them and gets them probably on the direction they want to go. And then from Washington, they got a star, on a team that didn't have any.
Right.
And will it make them better? It's not going to hurt them. And I think they were about last in the league in attendance. And he's still young. He's still young enough. And plus, my guess is too that he's a guy that they can always trade later on if they need to. But I like it from Washington. I mean, they were going nowhere, and they've got a couple of pieces that might be something. But Trae, people say, well, he can't guard. He's not a good – well, there's nobody on Washington that can guard, so he should fit right in.
Do you think that came together so quickly because Travis Schlenk, used to be with the Hawks and he had drafted Trae, and obviously they know each other very well. Is that something that really facilitated that whole deal?
Oh, I think so. I know with Travis, they, of course, they made the trade, Trae for Doncic for Trae, and I mean, I know the thinking was that Trae might be the next Steph Curry. Well, he's not.
Right.
But I understand the thinking. If you'd been around Golden State and Steph Curry, you're always looking for the next Steph Curry. But now I think probably he knows one thing about Travis. He knows Trae, and he knows he's not a bad guy. He knows his weakness, but he knows he can get you 25 points a night, and he's a terrific passer. I mean, he's as good a passer as there is in the league. So, and he brings star power and something. If I'm Travis, I think that's something they didn't have, and maybe will create a little excitement, and at worst, it might even create a little more value, things they can do going forward. So, I like it.
Yeah, you made a good point there, Jared, talking about the next Steph Curry. I think Buddy Hield was supposed to be the next Steph Curry. We haven't seen the next Steph Curry yet, have we?
No, we haven't, and I think there's going to be a lot of fan bases disappointed in the next decade looking for that. But that's always the case, isn't it? The great players, the next Jordan, the next Bird, the next Magic, the next Jabbar, there isn't one. And, maybe Wembanyama is going to be the next big thing, which that's certainly possible, but that's yet to be determined. So, he's, to me, at this stage, you just say, a guy like Trae Young, he's an all-star level player. Well, what's bad about that when you don't have one?
Jared, it's coming to that time. Yeah, I love to ask that question here, my old school question of the day. And this is something I'm pretty sure is near and dear to your heart. I was walking in my neighborhood, walking my dog, Menace. Shouts out to Menace, of course, my boy Whitey would say. And we're walking the dog, and this was 48 hours, about 2 days ago. And somebody jumps out the car and is like, yo, Jay, what's up? I'm like, oh, man, what's up, brother? Starts in a conversation, and he was like, we need to bring the Sacramento Monarchs back. I'm like, we do. We absolutely do. But I don't know how it's going to happen. And we commence a conversation, and, of course, as a fan, they see it from their standpoint. And we always know you follow the dollar. You follow the money. With all that being said, you were here. I was a kid. How did the Monarchs come about? And, of course, Sacramento fans, we want the Monarchs back. But just take me back to how the Monarchs even became something, how they even became here in Sacramento. Who was the person that made the call? How were we able to be blessed with such a great team?
It was really Jim Thomas, the owner at that time, really did want a team. And, at that time there were 8 teams started, and we were one of the originals. And so, it was to his credit, I didn't really know anything about him much, and I wasn't involved until the middle of the year, and Jim wanted to fire the coach and GM and everything, and did, and so that's when he encouraged me to be involved if I wanted to still be employed. And I, after thinking it over, I got really enthusiastic about it.
And what a championship!
Yeah, man.
Well, it took, it was fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Just getting to. I got to draft who I wanted, trade who I wanted, hire the coaches I wanted. It's neat because for the most part, the owners didn't really know anything about it, or quite honestly didn't care as much as they should have probably until it got good.
Yeah.
And then they got pretty interested. Funny how that works. But it was. I would like to see a Monarchs team back here. I think it'd be a good rivalry with the team in San Francisco, and I think the league is on an upswing now. I think with the current situation with the Players Association possible holdout here, I don't know what's going to happen, and I think the NBA owners and just the cost and all of what the players may be wanting, and the chances, because now it's, I think, at the point where the NBA part of it is they would like to make money on it, not lose money on it.
Yeah.
A strange concept, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
money.
So that's going to follow the dollars, right? But putting that aside, I sure wish it could be back, because the experience I had with the Pinacheros and Yolanda Griffith and Kara Lawson and those people, and Ruthie Bolton. It was just great. Absolutely great time for me.
Mm-hmm. I'll just say this, Jer. I don't know if anyone will care, but WNBA now, they got great players, Kaylin Clark and Asia Wilson and Paige Buchers. But the best WNBA player I ever saw, I think, is Cynthia Cooper. She was phenomenal, Jerry.
She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was going to say, she was the best player on that team. I know Cheryl Swoops got a lot of credit, but Cynthia Cooper is the best. Uh-huh. She could play off the dribble before very many people could, and shoot jumpers off the dribble, hard, right, left. No, she had the game, and that Houston team was really good.
Yeah. And quite honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, when Cynthia was part of the Comets, it was a way later in her career. Like, it wasn't even early on in her career, because, of course, she was playing overseas and things like that.
Yeah, that was the thing about several of the players. You probably didn't get them at their very best. I think you might have got Cynthia still for her first couple of years in the league. She was still probably right there.
Yeah.
But you didn't get the full 10 years of greatness that she had in her, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've gotten 27 minutes of greatness from you, but that's no surprise. That happens all the time. So thanks.
Oh, no, I bring it every time.
Yes.
I bring it every time, and I'm always just hoping you guys don't hold me back. That's my big thing.
We just try to get out of his way and let him cook.
Well, you know what? I'm getting ready to put him on a minutes restriction. Here we go.
Really?
Yeah.
Put me on a minutes restriction, little load management for me.
Yes. Thank you, Jerry. We appreciate it. Talk to you
See
soon.
you guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. When we come back, do the Kings need to explain what's up to fans? I'll tell you about another owner that did exactly that next. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sactown sports fans, when the final buzzer sounds, the real action is just getting started. If you live for big moments, big crowds, and unforgettable nights, you'll find them all right here on the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar. Get ready to laugh until it hurts with Daniel Tosh, live January 24th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Then turn the volume all the way up with Ernest, bringing high-energy country to Ace of Spades January 31st. Slow it down and vibe out when Jodeci delivers the classics live February 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Experience iconic sounds and the smooth style of Chris Isaac February 28th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. And rock legends Jefferson Starship take the stage March 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Comedy, concerts, legendary performances. Find every show, every day, and plan your next big night out with the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar. Play hard, rock harder, only on Sactown Sports.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction. Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, January 10th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
600. So.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Oh, I love talking with Jerry Reynolds. Thanks for being with us today. You know, Jerry said something interesting when Jay asked him about Scott Perry. And he said, yeah, Scott Perry's been great. He's been, he hasn't been out front as much as Vlade was out too much. Been out front talking to fans a lot more than Monty was. So he's found that sweet spot. Jerry said it might be nice if he clarified things a little further. I don't know about that. I understand that. But it relates to something that we've been talking about for a couple of years here. I know I mentioned this a couple of years ago talking with Kyle Draper. I remember we were out at the arena, and G.I. suggested maybe at some point, this is long before Scott Perry was here, maybe at some point, the organization issues some kind of statement to the fans or just letter, just showing everybody this is what's going on and this is where it is and this is where we're headed. Hasn't happened. I don't know that it will happen. But I can tell you this, 3 days ago, Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, did just that. Have you read it, Jay?
I saw bits and parts of it. I saw it, but I did not read it. I just kind of skimmed over it real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know we're not big Falcons fans here, but just a couple of highlights. What do you think of something like this? Would this be beneficial if the Kings decided to do it? And, Arthur is doing this at the end of his season when it's like, all right, we're retooling now. So maybe this isn't something that's ideal middle of the year. I don't know. He says, to our Falcons fans and community, no statement can change the disappointment of the past several seasons. We have fallen short of the standard you expect we as an organization have for ourselves. That responsibility rests with me. When results do not match expectations over time as the owner, accountability cannot be shared or softened. I believe this team should be competing at a higher level than it has, and I share your deep frustration. And he goes on to explain that they actually had a firm come in, Sportsology Group, and they conducted a deep, thorough, and intentional health assessment of the entire operation over the last 2 months. So they hired somebody to come in and say, yeah, check under the hood. What's going on here? Where are we with all this? And so they base some of these decisions going forward on that assessment, which is interesting. And then he goes on in the letter to talk about the search for leaders and a head coach and where they are and how some of the people will be reassigned and the benefits of that. But he also says, I want you to know I'm grateful for your loyalty, belief, and willingness to continue to show up and support this team, even when it has been difficult. I feel the urgency to get this right for you. We are committed to doing the work, making the tough decisions that are necessary, and making the investments necessary to deliver the results you deserve. I care deeply about this community and know how important the success of the Falcons is to each of you and the community. Says a number of other things along those lines. I don't know that it matters with Falcons fans. I just know from where I am, I look at that and go, well, that's a smart play. And perhaps that organization that they had come in to assess things, perhaps they said, you might want to do something like this. I think it's a good idea, Jay.
I'm 1,000% with you. And I'm going to tell you why it even further accentuates who Arthur Blank is and the Falcons organization is the Falcons have been one of the leading teams that have done a few things to assist their fans and having more enjoyable, experience.
The concessions.
Bingo. Yeah. There you go. So you're showing me you're not just talking about it. So there's multiple steps that you have shown and proved to me that you really care about what I think. And you may, even though you're in a different position as the owner, you're still a fan and you know how it feels. And he said that 2 or 3 times in that statement. And he's only backed up that by his actions. That's somebody I'm getting behind.
Arthur Blank also writes, I understand trust is built through action, not
Come
words. Honesty, effort, and accountability must be reflected in the way this organization operates and performs. Moving forward, every decision will be made with one clear objective, building a team capable of sustained success and competing for championships.
Again, not just blowing smoke. You've showed it, you're talking about it, and I can rock with you as a fan. I now feel just a little more comfort in the fact of, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go spend my money when I'm pulling up to the Mercedes Dome. Mm-hmm. I feel good about what you're talking about and where we're trying to move to. With the all being, it's difficult. It is hard. It is almost impossible to win a Super Bowl. You have to have some luck in your hand. We were right there, Mr. Blank. We were right there, and I know you were sitting on the edge of your seat with Matty Ice and everybody else, and we didn't get it done. But that shows me that you have a heart. You ain't just all about your money and you don't care, even though I know you're about your dollar bill, because you wouldn't be a billionaire if not. But, man, if nothing else, you've put yourself in a position for me to at least give you some, okay, I understand. I got you. I got nothing but love for you. And that – to kind of piggyback with where you were starting with, Jerry Reynolds talking about clarity, sometimes the GM talk ain't for me as a fan. And one thing that is the toughest, and we're going through it for sure politically here in this country, is one person, 2 people, a party, a group of folks, whatever you want to call them, it's very difficult to have and feel and understand where the majority, the mass of people are coming from and how they feel and where they're going and, what they believe. But now we're talking about a sports fan base as the Hawks fans. I'm all about that. You at least have shown me that you care, or at least trick my mind to feel like you care, even if you're not being sincere.
Best of all to me is there is not any finger pointing in that.
Truth. He took accountability.
Yes.
He took accountability.
Yes, this is what we're doing. And he actually says a number of, glowing things about different executives and breaks it down. This guy's going to do this now, and this guy's going to do that. But you deserve better in everything we're doing. Now, we will be laser focused on giving you the team and the success that you deserve as a fan. That's just well played.
I'm with that, man. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that. And that's the clarity button. I've said it to nauseum at this point. I appreciate the fact of how Scott Perry is truly making himself accessible.
Well, in my opinion, that'd be nice if Scott Perry did it, but this is something that should come from higher.
Well, no, but I'm starting with that part of it. And so if you're going to say, hey, look, because the transition is where we're coming here with the Sacramento Kings with this conversation. The first part of it is Scott Perry has been very accessible. Jerry Reynolds said, for him, he'd like a little more clarity. I think I'm in the Jerry Reynolds camp. Sure. I like it just a little straightforward, drop the big words, and let's just shoot straight fat. Like if I'm just saying on layman terms, the opportunistic and the prudent, I'm not saying those are huge words, but let's just talk couch to couch barbershop talk. Yo, what are you trying to do? I don't need you to jump around and try to get around the bush, and I'm not saying that's what he's doing. But, hey, are we tanking or are we rebuilding? I want you to use that word. And he even said it in that landscape. He's like, I don't really use rebuild.
I don't want to label it.
I don't want to label it.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Well, what do you want to call it? Right? And so that's the first part. And then the second part of it is I think we've all been clamoring for a State of the Union conversation. I've definitely said, I believe Scott Perry. I believe B.J. Armstrong. I believe Coach Christie, but the conversation is the people that's really running the ship. I'd like to hear from somebody over there, even if it's an undrafted statement.
I do think that the perfect time for something like that would be once they make a trade or two.
True.
And really start to pivot the whole thing.
Agreed.
When it's, okay, look, see, I'm not talking anymore. This is what we're doing. We just did a couple of significant trades, or a significant trade with this player that everyone knows and has a reputation. We moved him out. We brought in these pieces. Why? Because this is what we're doing now. And we're not talking about it anymore. We're actually doing it. And this is why we're doing it. This is what we want to do next. I think the perfect opportunity for this is still coming, hopefully sooner rather than later.
I couldn't agree with you more, Big Don. I truly couldn't. I mean, I would love for the brass of the Sacramento Kings organization, and that can be whoever you want. And I know everybody's going to point the finger of Vivek, but I'm just saying a united front. And don't just blow the smoke. Let me hear you. Let me hear the reality of it. Because I do know this. I do know Mr. Vivek Ranadive is a fan. I truly do. You don't move and you don't operate, and you don't. As a lot of people have talked about and said, he's got his hands in the cookie jar. You don't do that if you don't think that you're trying to win. I know he wants to win. I don't think he's Marge Shot. I don't think he's. I can't remember the lady who took over in Major League for the Indians. I don't think we're trying to sabotage, the organization. I don't think he's trying to uproot the Kings. I know he's a fan. I know he wants to win. He's been successful in a lot of different endeavors in his life.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he wants to do that here. And I'm probably sure that has played a lot into how certain things have happened in the past. Successful people consider themselves successful in many different areas, and they continue to approach their livelihood that way. You could take it how you want to.
Yeah.
But I know he's a fan, but I'd love to hear what's going on in his mind. And the ownership group, the rest of them.
Right. There's a great story there that we probably will never hear as far as how Mr. Ranadive was convinced that, all right, we're going to have to rebuild, because obviously he's been resistant to that, and we understand especially the economic reasons why. Scott Perry apparently has convinced, or maybe he realized that maybe he didn't have to be convinced. Maybe he realized, all right, it's time to do that. But that's an interesting story that we probably will never hear. Hopefully the Kings can get some things going here. And I do think once we bring in some younger players, fans are going to have an easier time accepting this whole rebuild. That guy's young.
Action.
That guy's young. He might not be very good. But let's see. And he's here, and he's one of ours, so let's root for him rather than, all right, you got all these old guys. Half of them don't want to be here. What are we doing here?
Old guys when it comes to NBA years.
Yeah. What did Jerry say?
I'm older than all these dudes.
Dallas's best player is 19. The Kings' best player is 37.
37.
That's not ideal.
Not in a young man's game. The NBA is a young man's game with assistance of some OGs.
Yeah.
But it's a young man's game now.
Is it true that tomorrow is Friday?
I think so. Has this week flown by, or hasn't? Or is it
kind of both? This week is kind of an arduous week when you're back from the holidays. But like I said, it's like, wait, tomorrow's Friday already? And tomorrow we'll be getting ready for the Kings and you know who, Jay. I don't even want to say their names.
Yeah.
Warriors.
The MDs.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they'll get together and at halftime, hey, let's pull off that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor, the dentists, the orthodontists. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Could we do it mid-game? A la Trae Young?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Put your jersey on, big fella. We know you got the physical.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, Jay. Thank you for being with us. We are leaving you a little bit early here because we've got some UC Davis basketball coming up.
We do.
Uh-huh.
A bad job by me. Who are they playing, Ramsey? UCSB, Santa Barbara.
The Gauchos?
The Gauchos.
Oh, my goodness. Throw out the record book when these two teams get
You
together.
better believe it.
Yeah, UC Davis basketball's coming up
State
next.
Street, stand up.
We're back with you.
Low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.